It's the 6 o'clock check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites. Daddy likes.
Oh, what's going on? Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you very much for being here for the Nielsen Show. Dustin Nielson, Lieutenant Eric with you.
Got to try today, hey? You gotta it's Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Who cares about a loss to the St. Louis Blues? I'll say it. They look like a good hockey team. Right? That's always the one where it's like, well, they lost to a good hockey team. But I know you're going to be fired up this morning. I saw the post game last night. I see the messages already rolling in. Loomis is already in there. The bottom 6 is a black hole, and CC is garbage. Like, it's yeah, it's gonna be one of those shows.
No, Strummy, enough with the Oiler talk already. And he's
had enough.
The Scotties is here. Let's go.
He's had enough. No more Oilers talk. We're skipping over it today. Just kidding. That's impossible. We're certainly going to get to it as we work our way through the show today. The Nielsen Show coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. The Oilers meal continues. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins Cup right now, currently up for grabs. Just pop by any Popeyes location and say you're there for the Oilers meal. You'll get a regular or spicy chicken sandwich, your choice, plus the nuggets, plus the Cajun fries, plus the medium drink, plus the dipping sauces, and then also the Nuge Collectors Oilers Cup. It's all $16.99, as some people have texted in. Many people are just like, wow, I can't believe I haven't had the Popeye chicken sandwich before. I know. We've been telling you about this for over a year. And then on top of it, like, that's a ton of food, and it is a ton of food. You could probably feed 2 small adults with this Oilers meal. You really could.
Yeah, medium sized. You could have a bit. Save a bit for a leftover if you want. You know?
Yeah. That's a good one.
The spicy stuff.
VR Montenegro's in and says, hey, is there a schedule of which Hudson's will be pre and post and when?
Great question.
Funny you ask, because as of last night, we do have a schedule for it, and you can find it online. Matty Iwanek, Mr. Lean, the COO of EST, took care of that last night. If you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, right along the top,
there you go.
EST on location. And that'll tell you when and where Tommy is going to be at Hudson's. He and Glue Guy were down there hanging out last night. Also on location today, I will be for the Lock Shop and the Oil Stream at the Free RV Show today, down on 170th. Very much looking forward to that as well.
17303 100 Ave. He's got the addresses in very well laid out.
It looks good.
A hell of a page.
Yeah, so pop by the RV show today. I'm going to be there doing Lock Shop from 11 till 12, and then Tommy Gazzola rolling in for the Oil Stream from 12 to 1 today. You can come in and stand there awkwardly and creep on us if you want, or you can walk around and check out all the different sizes of RVs that they will have at the Free RV Show.
Or a bit of both.
Yeah, do a little bit of both. I like the idea of you being inside a trailer but still creeping outside the window
and listening on the TuneIn app or something off your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be excellent. So yeah, if you go there, you can find it. Pre and post game. One day we'd like to have it on location all the time. But we've signed a nice little deal with Hudson's. They're going to be doing 4 pre and post games with Tommy every single month for the rest of the season, possibly the entire playoffs, if they make it. I can make that joke right because of the loss. Is that too soon?
Yeah.
Is that too soon? Should I not have done that?
It's a Friday.
Should I not have done that?
Let it roll. Yeah, Loomis, it's Crack Pack Day as well. How can you not be positive? It's a great point. You know?
Man,
if you're going to drop one, you do it on a Thursday evening, right down in St. Louis.
I know this isn't like a banger of a product, but it's a box. This is the new O-Peachy. This is the gateway drug for kids. Like, this is extremely affordable. It's fun to crack with your kids. We're going to get into this around 6:45 today because what are we doing? We're going Connor Bedard hunting. Connor Bedard rookie hunting. Hopefully we crack one.
Let's get a banger, hey?
Yeah, well, but
Friday.
speaking of bangers, Crack Pack break last night. Did you see what happened?
No, what?
I was doing 6 boxes of Stature last night with the Crack Pack. Curtis Wentland had the Oilers. And last night in the Crack Pack, I pulled a 22-23 Stature red autograph redemption card of Connor McDavid. Huge moment. I come upstairs after. I said to Tam, man, we hit a Connor McDavid autograph redemption. She goes, oh, I know. I heard. And then I was downstairs with the door closed. I said, you heard the bell? She goes, no. I didn't hear the bell. I heard your reaction. So, yeah, huge. Congratulations to Curtis at Crack
Power
Packer.
of the Crack Pack.
Pulls the Connor McDavid. I numbered out at 25. Like, it's a nice card, a real nice card. I'm thinking about completely disappearing off the map and just taking the card. No more Edmonton Sports Talk. Yeah. No more Crack Pack. What happened to Dusty? Dusty took off with that Connor McDavid red auto that's worth about $500 Canadian. That was it for me. I was just
down in the Caribbean.
See you later.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. The doc is in and says, I have no idea what any of that means. Nobody does, Doc. Don't worry about it.
It's a mouthful, yeah.
It's a really nice Connor McDavid card. And that's it. That's all we have
out
to
of
say
25. 1 out of 25.
Yeah, you know what that card wouldn't have been? -2 last night.
Well, 3 assists.
Tough night for the well, exactly.
The point chase continues. Look, if you're not going to get the win, if you're not going to get the points for team points, let's have that McDavid point chase continue, hey?
An eventful night for the top line for the Edmonton Oilers. Speaking of McDavid point chase, it was trade deadline day in the One Rickham Hockey League yesterday.
How did that go? Yeah.
So I was working on the deal.
You were keeping your
I was
powder
working on
dry
a deal all
maybe,
day.
yeah.
I was like, I've won 2 in a row. I'm not sure I had the juice this year. I was about 60 points behind a guy. And when you in that league, when you trade, you acquire all the points that guy has this season. So like makes trades insane. And I pulled the trigger on a big one. I traded Kyle Connor, Dylan Holloway, another piece, and about Matty will appreciate this because he knows me in other leagues. I traded about 13 draft picks, including my first 5 picks in our 2026 draft. I was just like, take them all. So I'd moved my first 5 picks in the 2026 draft. I got Jesper Bratt, I got Sidney Crosby, I got Tyler Seguin, I got Torrey Krug. And then my team had a huge night last night. And as of this morning, me and the guy that I'm battling with for first place, he has 1,006 points. I have 1,005 points.
Oh.
So it's going to be a nail biter the
race
rest
is
of the way.
on,
I
yeah.
can't wait. He knows it, though. Like, I got the big boys. I got Panarin. I got McDavid. I got Rantanen. I got Quinn Hughes.
Do you have Kyrou or Robbie Thomas?
I don't
or
have either
Buchnevich?
Kyrou or Robbie
say,
Thomas or Buchnevich. Like that's I love watching the Blues last night. I just laugh at every single person who's like texted in at some point and been like, "The Oilers should get Buchnevich." Like why St. Louis going to trade that guy to the Edmonton Oilers? I'll just wait. You can answer that question. I'll just wait right
here. They're not
here.
in the thick of a wild card race.
I'll just wait right there in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's what they're going to do. Good idea. You know what? Let's send Buchnevich to these guys who were only 5 points behind. Come on.
Are you scratching him off the list this morning?
Off the list.
Okay, whoa.
Off the list.
Hey.
Off the list. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox. If you're, I had some good sayings for Paris Jewelers the other day when I was at the mall. Oh, what was it?
Matt from...
instead of Paris Jewelers inbox, the Paris Jewelers ring box. Or how about this one? I came up with this one too when I was on the escalator the other day. The Paris Jewelers bling box.
All your ideas, were you going up on the escalator or down?
I was going down.
Down.
Really?
I was
going down.
That's funny.
Yeah, the ideas We're circulating up.
You just,
But I was going down. The Paris Jewelers Bling Box, 780-218-9999.
Matt Instagrammed me yesterday from Paris Jewelers, and he just PJs. Loves the nickname.
Oh, I mean,
Hey,
how could you not? Go see our friends at PJ's. They'll look after you. Get something sparkly for the one that you love. Only at Paris Jewelers.
Actually, might be going there tonight.
Really?
I'll just drop that with no detail attached.
You're spending so much time at Paris Jewelers. I love it.
Yeah. I know the staff, first name basis. It's great.
You can text us 780-218-9999. The inbox taking a jolly ripe old pounding today. So we'll get into that as we work our way through the show this morning. One of you could end up winning text of the day for A&W, where they are introducing their new spicy piri piri buddy burgers. They're only $3.99 each. Spicy piri piri sauce, whole leaf lettuce, sliced tomato, red onion, all served in your choice of a chicken patty, a beef patty, or a hash brown patty. Tell your buddies about the new spicy piri piri buddy. Zip through the drive-thru, pick one up, limited time only at A&W. We got to start with this one. From Phil, grateful on a balcony in Banff. Hey guys, I'm living the clip. Me to my new kidney.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. I love you, Joe.
How good is that? How good is that?
If I ever imagined what a kidney would sound like, maybe it's that. Maybe this is the most apt description relating to that clip. Hey?
That is how a kidney
like that.
sounds, I think. I love you, Phil, from a balcony in Banff. He goes, a conch for everyone who signed their organ donor card, a second conch for the doctors and nurses at 3G02, the transplant ward, UAH. You are all true angels. Phil, grateful on a balcony in Banff.
That's right.
Double conch. That's great.
Good on you, Phil.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations on the new kidney. And what a clip. What a absolute clip.
Well, as he set the marker for text of the day, I mean, that's right up there. I don't know how you're going to top that, but away we go.
This text is in and says, hey, 6 o'clockers, check in, get conched. You need a Moni Moni parody. Oh, we do. Like, 6 o'clocker check-in song hits. What Say You hits. We'll get to that too. But we could use the Moni Moni parody so we can really let loose on a Friday morning again, hey?
That might be something.
That's a long-term goal. That's a long-term goal.
Yeah.
Guys, can I roll up on you guys like when Ace Ventura went up to the Dolphins alumni pretending to get autographs? That's in from RBM. That'd be great. Today at the RV show. At the RV show. Even if you have to, I could use the sleep. What's it when you put the thing over a guy's mouth and chloroform?
Yeah,
Come chloroform me today at the RV show so I can get
great.
and then put me into one of those king size beds in some of those RVs and just let me sleep. That's what that's what I should have done. We should set up the broadcast location in a hiding spot. And then you have to come to the RV show today and search through all the RVs to find me.
The whole lot,
yeah.
hey, and you got to kind of knock it.
Nobody knows where I am. Nobody knows where I am.
People peeking through windows. And
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
do you know what kind of type RV? Do you have any sort of?
We're
do you
going
get the
to be
captain's
set
chair?
up in almost like a little like yard scenario in front of two RVs.
You'd be grilling and stuff. Like
Oh,
that type of
maybe.
thing?
When Tommy Gazzola gets there, I'm going to say, put on this apron, start grilling. And only the apron. So everybody could come by and be like, man, look at Tommy Gazzola. This guy's sculpted. That'd be pretty good.
Buns with your burger. Hey.
All right. You can hit us up. 780-218-9999. Text messages started rolling in today around like before 5 o'clock this morning. So let's see here. This one came in at 5:26 today, bitching about the officials. I love it. Hello, fellows. How are folks complaining about the refs? Don't they know the NHL has the best officials in the entire league? In the entire league.
That's word for word off the text there. You know.
Yeah, I'm not messing around with that. That's a good one. Look, maybe you disagree with me on this one, and I know the power plays were lopsided. We'll get into it. EM Utility morning after show coming up here in a little bit, but I don't necessarily say the Oilers lost that game last night because of officiating. And I think we'll hear from Chris Knobloch. He may think otherwise, but we'll get into that as we work our way through the show. Do you think the Oilers lost the game last night because of officiating? It didn't help.
Yes, that's just it. It's not the key and main reason they lost. It didn't help them, and especially when we've been talking about the penalty kill as of late. But I think it comes down to one word and one word only, Dusty.
I don't know the word.
Goal lead.
Oh, get out of here. Now, with that being said, when we do get to some of the big moments that happened in this game, I mean, part of me yesterday watching that game was like, I could do with Bennington between the pipes for Team Canada. Made some huge saves on
last
that
night.
game.
Yeah, really meaningful save. Highlights it.
Made some huge saves.
But, maybe again, not the main reason, but one of. There's a collection of reasons, I guess, you could look to last night as to why the score was the way it was. But hey, as RCN said, they want that 2 points in Dallas, right? They're ignoring the 2 points in Arizona and elsewhere, St. Louis. They're going after the big guns.
We said
tomorrow.
too yesterday, who cares about the St. Louis loss?
You go after the big guys.
Beat Dallas, who scored 9 last night or whatever it was.
They're 8-1-1, I think.
That's a tough spot to be in. Tough spot to be in. But good news if you have Tyler Seguin and Matt Duchene and Marchment in fantasy.
And Robbie Thomas,
and Jake
Kyrou,
Ottinger.
and Buchnevich. And Jake Neighbors.
Let's lay out the show for you today, then we'll get into your EM Utility Locating morning after show. We'll certainly get into to that. Crack Pack, Wayne Sports Cards, 645, Bedard rookie hunting. Take a look elsewhere in the National Hockey League last night. Austin Matthews, how about this guy?
Who?
On pace for 71 snipes. We're going to have to talk about it with Darren Dreger. MJ's flying today, but MJ did Dreger a solid on Monday. So Dregs is doing MJ a solid today.
Yeah.
That's nice to see. Friends helping friends.
Reach round. Wrap around.
Darren Dreger, just after 7 o'clock today for Pro-Am Sports. Cool bet hotline of the day. Hit it yesterday. Connor McDavid over 1.5 points, minus 118. Give it to us. And then the lock shop play of the day over on the Cool Bet socials yesterday. Bouchard assist, plus 105. Hit that bad boy too. Did not get the EST parlay because, yada, yada, yada. The Oilers didn't win. But still hit a couple yesterday, so that was nice. I says pardon, coming up here around 7:30 this morning. Keegan Matheson, one of our all-time favorites. He's at Blue Jays camp. Lieutenant Eric, who has reported?
The pitchers and the catchers.
That's right, both of them.
Positional players, couple of days away.
I don't care much about the Jays' position. Let's be honest. The strength of this team is going to have to be their pitchers and catchers. That's it. So we'll get to that coming up here around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. And then we'll probably need a bevy by around 8:30 today after unpacking this Oilers loss to the Blues. So luckily, we've got our man, Redbeard, Scott Laurie, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, coming in. He'll probably be on around like 8:40ish today. We got the wrap for William Huff before 9 o'clock. And lots of time for your text messages to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. I just looked on Twitter. Nate in Vegas has just tweeted me about the passing of Bill Post, the inventor of the Pop-Tart, again, passing away at the age of 96. We had this a couple days ago on the show. We were talking about it. Last night, around the dinner table, it came up. My mother-in-law was over for dinner, and I think she brought up the Pop-Tart guy. And I said to Tammy at the time, I said, this just goes to show that you can live a long and great life eating as many Pop-Tarts as you possibly want, right? Because when I have Pop-Tarts in the house, she's always like, oh, those aren't good for you. You shouldn't eat Pop-Tarts. But I'd be like, the guy who invented them lived till he was 96. You don't think this guy was eating Pop-Tarts for 96 years or however many years after he invented them? Of course he was. So it's I feel like it's giving me a green light to go super Pop-Tart heavy again.
You then hung up the portrait of Bill Post above your kitchen table, right? Like everybody, you kind of look at him for a second before you eat now.
At least just at breakfast. Just at breakfast. And then we cover it back up to the next breakfast. But I don't know. I think that's sound. Isn't that sound logic?
Yeah, look, if you missed it all, Weekly Rankings of Power as well, you can go back and listen to that, in which Dusty got very animated on a Pop-Tart ranking, but all in memory of one Bill Post, William Bill Post.
I stand by how
R.I.P.
fired up I got about that.
You should.
That was the most I ever got fired up during your Weekly
polarizing
Rankings
topic.
of Power, buddy.
Yeah.
But you know what that means? That means it was a good weekly rankings
That's
of power.
exactly
Yeah. For people asking where that RV show is today, 17303 100th Ave.
It's an old Halloween. They use it for the Halloween stuff, right?
Yeah,
big
yeah,
lot.
set things up
You'll
there.
know it. You've driven through it numerous times. I'm sure it's right on the main road there, but big lot. Easy to see. I drove on the way home. There's signage and everything. You can't miss it if you're in the
It's
area.
that place that you kind of drive by a lot and you know it, but you don't know it.
That's
Where it is.
Exactly it. Yeah.
17303 100th Ave. You can get more information, freervshow.ca. Lock, shop, and oil stream from the Free RV Show today. We should be set up when you come in. We'll just be over on the right. Free parking, free admission, free entertainment.
Free.
Edmonton's only free RV show. In fact, I don't want to break anything here, but the RVs are actually free. Yeah, if you have a big truck, you can come and just take one away. That's how it works. I think. I mean, I don't know all the details of it.
Small print.
Yeah, but the way it's laid out, free RV show?
You might as well just ask.
I'll take one, please. I'll take one, please. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Oh, how about this? Before we get to the morning after show, one quick text from Edmontonian in Ontario. Hey, boys, a conch for my sister, please. I fly home to Edmonton tomorrow for a visit. She's got some 6 o'clocker loggers chilling in the fridge for me. That's what I'm talking about.
Getting a little taste, eh?
That's a great idea. Speaking of great ideas, Joel in the Nasty Chat. Have a Pop-Tart week, Dusty, to commemorate them. Also a great idea.
Not bad at all.
Next week, 4 days. We could always make that Pop-Tart week.
That could be the day.
After that, Pop-Tart week on the show moving forward. One day I have blueberry. One day I have raspberry. One day I have strawberry. And what was your number one? S'mores? Unbelievable, this guy. All right, let's get into your
No unfrosted.
EM Utility Locating morning after show. Gotta find the morning
Play
after.
it.
Oh, the bad
Play
morning
it.
after show song. What a buzzkill, you guys.
Being a fan of the Oilers today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to have your say? It's the morning after show where we will talk about the game and let you know who you should blame. You want a show where you will know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game. You want a show so people know if the problems are still the same. You want a show every morning after the game.
Oh, boy. Hits differently after they win 16 in a row. Eh? I was asking people last night on Twitter, are you viewing this team as 18-3 in their last 21 or 2-3 in their last 5? People might say the 18-3, but let's be honest, I know you. We know you, Edmonton.
Well, if you're a glass half full, you'd go to the 18-3, but recency bias would suggest right now it's you. What
What's
you're
this
right
look
on
like? What's
you're
this
right
water
on the-
bottle look like?
You are.
My water bottle is 3/4 full.
A 3/4.
That's where I'm at right now. The EM Utility Morning After Show is brought to you by EM Utility Locating. Visit them, www.emutilitylocating.com, or give them a call, 780-244-9497. We're talking GPR and concrete scanning, which they still haven't offered us an opportunity to do. I would like an email here from Matt at some point being like, hey, you want to come and scan some concrete? Yes, I do, sir.
Put these on in glasses.
Man, that would be fun. Damage prevention, planning, design, education, and training. You got anything going on down there? You're going to have to do some work. You can't see what's happening. EM Utility Locating will make sure you get it done safely and in the proper fashion. EST, big moment that happened in this Oilers game last night. What are you going with, buddy?
When it comes to the score and obviously the result, I'm going to go to the Buchnevich goal to make it 5-2, just ending the second frame. I think at that point, look, whenever you're 2 up on this Oilers team, that can change in the blink of an eye with what they possess offensively. Clearly, the special teams weren't going in their favor. This was the second of 2 power play goals on the evening. But I will go back to Binnington just
You have to do it.
stoning Hyman.
Have to do it. That's
and,
where
and
I was
not,
going.
Not once, but twice.
Twice.
And then at that point, you're like, okay, this just might be indicative of how this evening will go. And sure as you know what, it turns out to be that way. But I mean, that was some unreal stuff. I don't know what you want more, the glove or the pad.
Both were amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you can chalk them up either way, but I mean that was when you kind of know, okay, well this is an evening that might turn out the way that it eventually did, 6-3 or final.
I have a hard time looking past those two saves. I thought Jack was going to die in the booth. I thought he was absolutely going to have a heart attack in the booth.
I think he said, you could even say stunning at one point.
Yeah, like after the play. Like it had started to slow down.
He doesn't
He's
just
still
give out
talking
stunning,
about it.
say,
He's
like,
like,
it's-
you could even say stunning.
Like we've said stunning before.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like you
Oh,
keep
he
that
was-
word on the top shelf. But
He was losing his mind
Yeah.
on both of those.
well, and
But
Hyman
two
even more
phenomenal
losing his
saves.
mind. And Hyman just, you
Yeah.
look at the body language and the look on his face,
yeah.
just like, dear baby.
Heartbreaker there. Which one would you find more impressive, actually? The glove save? The glove save, he sort of tracked it across. Boom, glove save.
Right
Brilliant.
there, yeah.
But the other one, he was going one way, had to get the pad back down. The other way, I think you can make a case that the pad save might have been better.
Yeah.
I was more impressed by the glove save because glove saves are glove saves, right? And
Yeah.
amazing. But my goodness, that was insane.
Sums up the night stylistically there, I think, perhaps, if you will. But I know others might have a penalty or here or there.
Super sad of the night. What are you going
Well,
with?
yeah, you know, it's the penalty problems, and you can chalk it up to the refs or Bettman, or as a Tief would say, Batman, having it in for the Oilers in this big grand conspiracy. Look, St. Louis 2 for 8 with the man advantage, and with the way the Oilers penalty kill is going, you'd say, okay, well that's but playing a man down for a lot of the game, I mean that certainly doesn't help at all as well. I'll have to go with kind of the man advantage lopsidedness of the night. It certainly affects how you're going to play the game, and I think too just the stats of both top lines. You can add them up as well. Kyrou, Robbie Thomas, and Buchnevich, what they did. 2 with 2 points, 1 with 3, and comparatively speaking to the Oilers' top line, in which Connor McDavid, yes, 3 assists, but as you mentioned earlier as well, a dash.
Zach Hyman was
in the
minus
plus
3
minus.
last
They were
night.
all
Yeah.
there, and so yeah, I mean you can look at the stats just compiled by the two top lines or the penalties involved, but I think those are pretty indicative as well as to how this game went.
I thought a couple of the calls were weak for sure, but the Oilers also took some very undisciplined and bad penalties last night, right? Which is why I have a hard time. What'd you take? 6 penalties that you probably should have taken, and a couple that you didn't deserve. You still took 6 undisciplined penalties.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can sit there and hang 8 power plays all on the officials and not yourself. So, I mean, I'll probably look past that one. This kind of stands out for me as a super stat because I'm not sure I believe it. But according to the NHL stats last night, the Edmonton Oilers did not have a giveaway in that hockey game. Not once.
6-0, I think.
Not once did the Edmonton Oilers give away a puck in a game in which they allowed 6 goals against. Right.
Hang your hat on that.
Come on. Let's get into your 3 stars from the hockey game last night. Lieutenant Eric will give you the 4th star of the game. Robert Thomas, Jake Neighbors, and Jordan Binnington, who came away from last night with a 921. Who was the 4th star of the hockey game last
Well, Corey
night?
Perry had a goal and was +1 on the evening as well. Had a bit of a tussle as he's liking to mix it up. I could go with the 4th star for him. I'll give it to McDavid. 3 assists. Also on a night, coming off a 6-assist performance. That, judging by my quick math, 9 in 2 games. Yes, you mentioned -2, and that line wasn't really clicking. But look, on a night where you don't get the win and you don't get the points in the standings, I'll look at him and getting the points in the points race. Although Kucherov did get 3 last night, and I believe McKinnon got 2. But keeping pace and keeping up there near the top, give me the captain, Connor McDavid, 3 assists.
38th star of the game last night. Good to see Janmark get back in there. I also see a Connor Brown discussion happening right now in the Nasty Chat that I want to address here as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour today. Boy, who was the least valuable player last night? Who do you go with? Desharnais spent a lot of time in the box last night. Now, some of it I thought was kind of garbage, but I mean, when your top line's on for that many goals against, I feel like and I know they produced at the other end, but
We don't normally, so I think
yeah,
you
but
can.
I mean, the entire top line can't be out produced in that fashion. So I'll go with the entire group. Knobloch tweaking things again a little bit there later in the hockey
Turning
game
the
too.
knob.
So
yeah.
We'll see where their viewing on that one is as well. JCD 780 says, you're going to have a dud every now and then. People think we're going to win every single game. Those guys are delusional. And RCN replies with, they've had more duds than losses in the last 20, right? So they've had some duds, managed to pull out the dub. Last night you describe as, they still had 40 shots. It wasn't like they got outshot 45-18 and we're kind of just going through the motions. They just made a lot of mistakes last night. Took some bad penalties, got some bad calls.
And we're up against
definitely
a real
deserved
good goalie,
the loss last night.
A real good goalie.
Yeah.
They didn't get goalied, but certainly had something to do with it. I mean, if Hyman buries a few of those chances, there were some moments there where the Oilers are getting on the board maybe 2 or 3 times. If you put an average netminder in there between the pipes.
Guys, I view them as a 1-3 playoff team since the All-Star break. That went in from DG. 1-3 versus playoff teams since the All-Star break. Eliminating the victory over the Ducks because who cares at that point. CB Radio Guy, and that was, by the way, that was DJ's first text into the show. So DJ, thanks for finding us, man. We appreciate it. CB Radio Guy says, I'm looking at this team as a second-round exit right now. So we're all over the place again, obviously. Let's get to a sports update when we come back. We got Knobloch. We'll hear what Chris Knobloch had to say after the game last night. That's on the way. Inbox. Oh, the PJ's inbox here taking a pretty good pounding this morning. So keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Adam texts in and says, hey, could I come to the RV show and just watch the Lock Shop live? Standing room only? Yeah, man. You can come and sit down. You can come sit down right across from me. We'll have a staring contest. We'll do the Lock Shop. It'll be a lot of fun.
Try to get in his kitchen.
Yeah, why not? Pop on by today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Keep those text messages rolling in. Nasty chat as well. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube right now, give us a sub. We would appreciate that. Or hammer us a thumbs up as well. That'd be real nice. Real nice. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric. Knobloch on the other side when we return. Crack Pack still to come here in the 6 o'clock hour today as well.
Jordan Binnington, 35 saves from Oil King Jake Neighbors with a goal and 2 helpers. Blues over the Oilers 6-3 down in St. Louis. Connor McDavid registering another 3 assists in the loss. Oilers are in Dallas tomorrow afternoon. You can join Tom Gazzola. He'll have your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tomorrow beginning at 11:30 here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Elsewhere last night, Stars spanking the Preds 9-2. Vancouver topping Detroit 4-1. Kings, they escaped New Jersey with a 2-1 win, while the Flames followed the Sharks 6-3. Minnesota Timberwolves heading into the NBA All-Star break, top of the West. They pummel Portland 128-91. All-Star game will go on Sunday. Busy weekend ahead for the Oil Kings. The club are in Red Deer tonight before hosting the Rebels tomorrow night. While holiday Monday afternoon, they'll welcome in the Medicine Hat Tigers to Rogers Place. Puck drop 2 o'clock for that one. Canmore doubling up Fort McMurray 6-3 in the AJ last night. 3 games around the league later tonight. Also tonight, Toronto hosts Montreal in the lone PWHL game. Second round action at the Genesis Open gets underway later this morning. Adam Svensson is the low Canadian. He finished yesterday 4 under, sitting in a tie for 8th heading into today. And draw 1 at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts goes tonight from Calgary. Alberta will be on Sheet B, taking on the Caitlin Laws Manitoba rink. Action gets underway at 6 o'clock. Sports update brought to you by Green Plan. With construction season coming up around the corner, planning season is already in full swing. For all of your environmental planning needs, contact Green Plan Environmental Consultants. Green Plan can assist with any of your environmental concerns, no matter how big or small the project. Green Plan is here to help. Check them out today at green-plan.com.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the best cats like Wyszynski and Noodles. Gadget can gauge it. If it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Be left to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramella, Rapaport, Dreger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him game in person, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, Jaunty, I just tweeted out the lyrics. While we were doing that, I did tweet out the lyrics to the song so you guys can start to learn it and follow along because it's such a banger.
I'm asking a lot, but I'd like them to be on the screen like karaoke style with that little ball that bounces over the words every time. It kind of,
Oh, that would be cool, yeah. We're tuning in on TuneIn. We're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat. What's on our mind? 780-218-9999. He just nails it. Just absolutely nails it. We can't wait for the Monday Man date. Shoggy's always on time. Tommy's always late. Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback Tuesdays. Like Jaunty, what a guy. What a guy. We want to hear some hot takes. We want to hear Renee. Why not hold the next draft when Awanaki's away? Pete left a tire fire. Remember that name? We love every goal song, but what about Evander Kane's? I think at one point there, right after the Tommy line, I think here, do you want a spot of tea? I don't know where that came from, but I love it.
It's the drops after the lines that get me.
I absolutely love it.
Penner's Pancakes has added another verse in the nasty chat as well here on YouTube. One. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. And the refs in Bettman always screw us, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. All right, Chris Knobloch. Let's get into what Chris Knobloch had to say after the game last night. Edmonton Oilers dropping a 6-3 decision in St. Louis against the Blues to kick off a 3-game road trip. Up next, no easier, the Dallas Stars, followed by the Coyotes to wrap up this 3-gamer. Here's what Knobloch had to say last night.
Time spent on the penalty kill tonight. How do you kind of rally your group to be able to respond when it might feel like you're kind of chasing from behind?
Yeah, I think obviously we're very frustrated with the calls that went against us, and it puts us in a difficult position to win the game, especially when you're behind, where we're needing goals, and here we're spending time killing penalties. And we as a team, we have to put it aside, no matter how much we disagree with the call. And there's been a lot of calls that our team has disagreed with, but we just have to put it aside and play hockey.
When you look at the first period, what did you like of the way you kind of got started and looked comfortable in the opening 20 minutes?
I think we managed the puck well. I thought we moved it, made some really good plays with the puck, not just giving it away. We were composed, and I think there was maybe a couple shifts that weren't up to our standards, the one that we got scored against. But other than that, I liked how we're just keeping our game simple, getting in on the forward check, and then spending some time in the offensive zone, because that's where we were playing our best.
You mentioned just before the Detroit game that you had a bit of a longer meeting with the PK and just some reminders of what you were doing to be successful. Maybe it wasn't quite like that the first 2 periods, but that 6-minute kill in the third, is that something you kind of hope or think will kind of get you back to what you were doing successfully?
Well, you look at through that streak, and a lot of things were going well. Our power play is playing well. 5-on-5 was pretty good, but probably the highlight of it was our goaltending and our penalty kill. And our penalty kill, definitely we have faith in being able to kill penalties and be one of our strong parts of our game. It's just been a lot of breakdowns and different kind of breakdowns, but I think we'll just constantly be needing to remind those guys that it didn't come naturally, that those kills, it wasn't just because of the personnel we're using, it was the personnel executing the details every time. And there's going to be breakdowns, and that's where you need your goalie to come up with a big save. But right now, we're just forgetting about those details.
Corey Perry's done a lot in a short time, and now including a fight and a goal. What do you think of the way he kind of continues to fit in nicely?
I think Corey's great for our team. He brings guys into the fight, and he knows, it's little things are important, and whether it's getting into a little scrum at the end of the second period to try and change the momentum of the game, or going to the net and creating some chaos. And unfortunately, the one we got a disallowed goal there. but another one, capitalized on it. And, I think his game is very important for us, especially when so many games are going to be decided with one goal, and it's usually those little things about just crashing that net or drawing a penalty. I think it's good for our team.
Chris, this is a first of 3 games on this road trip. How much is this an opportunity or a test to be able to show that it's all about how you respond?
Absolutely. We knew right away that the month of February was going to be very difficult with the amount of travel, especially the first 2 or 3 weeks, and the quality of opposition that we're going to be playing. And a lot of teams that are really hungry to move up in the standings and fighting for a playoff spot, and we're not going to have easy ones. So, it's good for our team, and it's what we need.
There you go. That's courtesy Oilers Plus. Chris Knobloch, head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. A couple other things from this game before we're not going to move on. We got Dreger coming up just after 7 o'clock. More talk about this. Want to get Dreger's thoughts on the overall general consensus that the Oilers are kind of going big fish hunting here at the deadline, as opposed to trying to pull a couple minnows out for the fourth line and maybe a depth defenseman. So we'll get into that. You like my fish reference?
Get out the fish finder. Get out the fish. Right? We should have a fish finder.
Yeah.
You gotta,
big one. Holland's got a big one up. Oh, this is great. We'll get to that with Dregs coming up here just after 7 o'clock today. I was on a group chat last night with Cass and Tommy and Gager, and Gager slid in right away. He goes, Skinner looks exhausted. Like he
mentioned that yesterday before the game. Yesterday afternoon, we were sitting in this very room, and Gager said, "I'm paraphrasing." Did he bring that up yesterday before the game? That thing up. I said, "Okay, interesting."
It's almost like this guy's got a good read on goalies because he used to be one.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they'd pull him after 40 minutes, not because the loss was on him, but because they were down significantly. Rest him a little bit for another game coming up in a day and a half because it's an afternoon game. They didn't. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I thought that could have been a spot to maybe get him out there, maybe try to take that frustration away a little bit, because a couple of games now, Skinner's looked kind of frustrated between the pipes. So I don't know. What do you say about that? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. I thought there would just been an opportunity there to kind of give him a little bit of a fresh start for the Dallas game.
Well, these games are becoming thick. You mentioned a day and a half now. There's a game like every second day now. The crunch is going to get extreme. The rest of the season. I mean, it's so, yes, you can celebrate all the good things that Skinner's done, but he is a human being, and human beings eventually get tired and run out of gas. And I just find it funny that Gage mentioned that yesterday afternoon before a puck was dropped, and here we are talking about it this morning. But see what happens there. I know some people mentioned Pickard both in the Paris Jewelers ring box this morning and in the nasty chat as well. So maybe give him a look. I'm not saying about tomorrow, but
yeah,
more so often than we've seen. I guess.
He'll play against the Coyotes for sure. But I wonder if they contemplate throwing him in against Dallas instead, give Skinner a couple days off and let him get the Coyotes. I don't know. I'd still like to see Skinner go against the Dallas Stars. You want your best group out there against that team. But I don't know. He just, after, when things fell apart, and I could see why he'd be frustrated with the team in front of him in the second period. But when things started to look, I don't know, he just wasn't yelling at people like Mike Smith, but you could just tell he looks sort of tired and frustrated with the way things are going.
Well, tired and frustrated both on like what defensive structure. We credited the defensive structure for bringing his game back up. Yeah. Now that his game might be suffering a bit or something, is that due in part to the defense as well, or all on him?
Well, he did have a chance in a couple of them.
Yeah.
So same in that game against Detroit, there were a few that he never had a sniff on. So. If you want to chime in on that one, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat this morning as well. The other thing, this was a comment from the postgame show last night that I thought was relatively accurate and is a major concern. But last night, somebody in the nasty chat on the postgame, and Tommy Gazzola and glue guy Jay Milne, they were down at Hudson's on White, first of 4 games that we'll be doing at Hudson's this month, 4 more next month, and 4 more the following month. Hop online at edmontonsportstalk.com and click on EST on location to see where those other ones are going to be. But the comment was Connor McDavid is the Oilers' most physical player, and that's disturbing.
He threw a hell of a hit. Well, I can't remember who it was on. Is behind the net sometime during, I think, the second or... It's just like, who was that? Is that Kulak? Like, with the 7 thing, whatever.
Yeah.
We always get mixed up, but yeah, he's physical. He's pissed off. He's mad.
It's great that Connor McDavid is playing very physical, and from a night-to-night basis, probably your most consistent physical forward. But how are other guys not kind of coming along for the ride? Like, it happens sometimes, but not near enough, in my opinion. So I thought that was an interesting take last night, and one that I can completely get behind. Like, go watch these games. Tell me how McLeod, Fogle, some of these guys, how are they making an impact in the game from a physical intensity perspective?
Your 38th star last night was whom again? It was
it was the top line.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at McLeod, looking at, you can go down that list, right? And looking at those, lots of goose eggs staring me right back in the face this morning.
I'm wondering if people are still viewing McLeod as untouchable like they were 2 weeks ago when we talked about possibly
the
moving
pendulum
him to the
swings, as the Tragically Hip once famously performed there, man. I heard the Oilers want to start Pickard in the third, but the refs stopped them. Comes in from Chris Sadaway, Paris Jewelers inbox. The McDavid hit was on Neighbors too. I think that's what he was referring to.
Yeah. Dean is in and says, Dry looks rudderless this year. Well, that's the other thing that I was going to bring up. Like, from a McDavid physicality perspective, it's not like Draisaitl's following up with super physical shifts himself right after.
Which, if one of them is going to be, it would be. I mean, he does have the size possessed to exact that type of game.
Pender's Pancakes is saying, hopefully there will be a karaoke machine at the Nasty Bash this year with both of Jaunty's songs in there.
The only two.
Well, we have two now, but is there another one coming at some point? Probably. Jaunty and Victoria, the man himself, text in this morning. Morning, fellas. So glad you guys like the song. Regarding the line about Tommy, I wanted to put in he's on T-Biscuit time after the line about being late, but it was too long. Then I found a recording of an English butler saying, would you like a cup of tea? And for some reason, that just fit perfectly in for poor Tommy. Would you like a cup of tea? You can hear it. There's lots of things you can pick up. Continue to unpack this thing, right? Yeah. Continue to unpack it over and over and over again. Andrews says, hey, boys, I missed the game. How bad was the reffing? Well, like we said, there was a couple calls against the Oilers that I didn't think should have been made, but the Oilers were also extremely undisciplined and deserved a good chunk of the penalties they got last night. So,
which can happen in hockey games, from time to time.
I personally am not hanging last night's loss on the officials. Some of you might. That's your opinion. I disagree. I thought the team could have played better overall and not taken a couple of the stupid penalties that they actually took last night. Let's crack some packs this morning. Why not?
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the Crack Pack! Crack Pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money. The Crack Pack is a little old gang where we can crack together. Crack Pack, baby. A Crack Pack, baby. Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack.
Oh, Crack Pack. That'll get you going. Brought to you by Wayne's Sports Cards. If you haven't been to Wayne's, you will be soon. Upper Deck Series 2, just around the corner in early March. That will be the Connor Bedard Young Gun Hunt. And everybody's looking for the one of one. There's a Connor Bedard one of one Young Gun in this year's Upper Deck Series 2, which is why it's going to be absolutely insane. I was in the store the other day on Tuesday, and I told Wayne we'd get him in here before the Bedard thing drops just to talk about the madness of what's going on with the Connor Bedard Young Gun, because people are going to be going absolutely insane for that. I also got an update on those Wayne Gretzky cards I've been trying to get to for a couple of days, so we'll get into that a little bit. But we've got just O-Pee-Chee today. This is a box of O-Pee-Chee. I've said multiple times, like, if you want to get into it with your kids, O-Pee-Chee is a great way to do it. It's not overly expensive. There's a ton of cards in the set. You'll find every single player. I brought home a couple of packs to Marshall and the Muzz on Tuesday. They each had a pack. Marshall opened his, pulled a Cassian on the Oilers still. The Muzz was losing her mind. So the Muzz opens up her pack looking to get something that she hopes she can trade for it, even though I think Marshall would have given it to her anyway. But she got...
Gets a Dembski.
No, she got... Yeah, wouldn't happen something. She got Nurse and Ekholm, so they made a 2-for-1. Cassian for Nurse and Ekholm. It was a pretty big deal. But, yeah, O-Pee-Chee. The O-Pee-Chee, they do have a Connor Bedard rookie in the O-Pee-Chee this year. So it's probably a little bit more sought after than other years with the O-Pee-Chee, but we got a whole box here. We don't need to dive into the whole box, but it'd be nice to pull a Bedard Young Gun by the end of the show, or not Young Gun, Bedard rookie by the end of the show today. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be first pack would be something? No, I got a Max Domi. Does that help?
That. I mean,
Matt, you want a pack? You want to go for a little Connor Bedard rookie here? There we go.
Get on the hunt.
Oh man, did you see the turn on that thing? That was amazing. That was nuts. So I was in there and talking with Wayne. And I said, "Hey, what's the deal? What do you think with the Gretzky case?" And we were thinking $2 million, right? When he says he thinks it's going to go for $3 million. And he also told me that when he was at the All-Star game with Upper Deck, he bumped into Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yeah,
and he told Wayne that he should buy it, which would be the all-time move. I'm talking with Wayne about it. He goes, these guys who have unlimited amounts of money. His other suggestion, which is pretty cool, and then we kind of got a little bit carried away on it, but like Daryl Cates should buy the case of Gretzky rookies.
I guess see where you're going here.
And then put it on display at Rogers Place, Independence Declaration of Independence style, where it's like out, and then at night it gets lowered down into like this cave underground, and people come up and look at it. So he said it's probably going to go for $3 million. He thinks Wayne Gretzky should buy it. Connor McDavid should buy this.
They can all pool in the money.
And the key would be to buy it and not crack it. If you buy it and open it up, you're risking it. Now he did tell me that he's thinking there's probably 25 Wayne Gretzky rookies in there. But unless you're pulling a 10 or 2 10s, you're not going to make your money back.
Not worth the thing. I do love your time capsule idea of like, and a real like.
Would that not be awesome?
Yeah.
You go down, you get it's actually buried in the ground under the Gretzky statue. And it only like 3 times a year, it'll come see the light of day.
And we get 3 more weeks of winter or something.
Like that would be pretty good. Maddie, you get anything over there? I saw you looking at something like.
There's a Kucherov All-Stars that's a 57 of 350.
Oh, you got a numbered card. Well, there we go. That's a nice start to the day.
Cody Ceci.
Trade him. Just kidding. I was kidding. Let's see here.
Stoff's favorite player, Alex DeBrincat. Ottawa Senator style.
How about this? This is a nice one. Dustin Wolf. Like a glossy kind of rookie.
I got an 8 of spades, Vasilevsky. Look, they got the...
I like that one.
Card.
Pierre-Luc Dubois on the Jets. I'll save that one for Huss.
Oh, UC Soros 2023 All-Stars on the market now, apparently, according to LeBron. Hey, big ask. You're gonna have to give me a lot for this one.
Oh, look at the number 1 card in the set. Who's this? Connor McDavid.
Oh,
the hot run continues.
That's a nice.
It's a good-looking card.
The white jersey with the white background and everything.
The way he's skating,
framed up. Baby.
Beautiful card. Beautiful card. This is O-Pee-Chee. It's an affordable way to get into the card game if you want.
These are really nice. They're not too busy.
No, it's a good design this year.
And clean. Yeah,
it's a good design this year. Man, I said we didn't have to open up the whole box, but I really.
This is like the Hortons. We'll just casually throughout the show. Hey, you kind of reach for one.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Just leave it out there.
Why not?
Oh, the Nuge. By the way, shout out to the Nuge for being on the pack. How about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins getting the cover?
Okay, yeah.
The Nuge getting the cover.
Not bad.
That's pretty impressive, I think.
One more here. I got it. One more.
All right, let's do this. One more.
I see a JT Comfer.
Lucky. Checklist. Come on, where's the Bedard? Give us the Bedard, damn it.
Taylor Hall. Nope.
All right, we'll keep cracking through this box as we work our way through the show.
Stone cold.
We're going to get that Bedard. That's what we're going after.
We're coming after you,
Wayne
Bedard.
Sports Cards.
We know
Wanna
you're
go
in
get
there.
it. They got the new OPC. New clear cut just dropped as well. The clear cuts are just one card per box, but it's autographed. It's always it's fun. It's fun. I'll probably do some clear cuts in the crack pack at some point. Let's see here. But isn't that a cool idea of what to do with the case? Wayne Gretzky buying the only case remaining that we know of his rookie year would be the ultimate move.
Or you open the case, like you give out the packs
Yeah.
like one by one over the years
Oh my
for like a chair. Like you could do, I mean, you'd
Wayne told Wayne, like Gretzky told Wayne that he talked to Janet about it, and she kind of said it was a no-go. But then Wayne tried to convince him. He said, maybe I'll talk to her again. So I want to see Wayne Gretzky. Either Wayne Gretzky buys this case for himself, or Daryl Cates buys it and puts it on display at Rogers, and then the crack pack gets together and comes up with like an Ocean 11s type heist. Right? The heist plan to steal the Holy Grail. I think that would be...
please can we make all of this happen?
That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. We use Shanks as our place to plan it.
I got a lot. I got a lot of time.
We-
Yes, yes.
Nobody would think of it there.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Greg is in and says, "Did you guys give details on your Twitter drop of the signing the other day with the four of you around the table? Did HR Daddy make you all finally sign liability contracts?" Well, we have insurance. You have to have insurance to do stuff like this, so we're not too concerned about the liability stuff. But no, we have not yet. We'll probably tell you what that was about next week at some point.
Enjoy the long weekend and keep thinking.
We the last thing we want is you to be stressed about us signing the closure papers.
It's
of
up on
Edmonton
our
Sports Talk.
Instagram account, Edmonton Sports Talk, and in the comments, people are having their best guesses as to what it is, and some of them are pretty out there, but some of them are getting kind of close. I like the
Sniffing
variety.
around,
The
sniffing around
variety
it.
is good. So if you want to guess, head on over to the Instagram page and drop a guess, drop a like, and drop a guess.
I think I saw Do Fish Pea in the nasty chat. Oilers prove again they aren't legit cup contenders.
The buzzards are out, hey?
Oh, 6 o'clock hour, man. 6 o'clock hour.
RCN's just skating figure eights this morning. He is.
It's a tough look.
It's a tough look, but it's going to be a tough rest of the way here. We knew this going in, right?
Since the break, you've played 3 playoff teams in the West.
Yes,
and you lost all 3 of them.
Yep.
I can see why people want to just make that the main focus here. It's completely legitimate. Now, with that being said, I don't think this is the worst thing in the world because it is going to give them an opportunity to properly assess what they have prior to the deadline. If the deadline happened to be right after the 16-game streak, Ken Holland might have been like Luke after he kissed his sister on the lips.
Well, that's just
it.
it.
Sort of laid back.
It's just it.
Now that's not going to be the case. Now you got to find a way to get creative. You got to find a way to help improve this team a little bit. And I think losing to the 3 playoff-bound teams in the West that you have should crank the knob up a little bit. Bad pun, but crank it up a little bit here prior to the deadline. So not the end of the world unless the losses continue to pile up. But they're comfortably in a playoff spot right now.
Still some games in hand.
Got games in hand.
3 on the
too.
Golden Knights, 1 on the Kings, and then 3 as well on the Blues, who Kings and Blues both 60 points in those wild card spots this morning.
The one thing that you worry about if you're an Oilers fan is that the schedule, there's no days off, as Bill Belichick once said. Like, this is going to be a heavy schedule the rest of the way. The games are obviously stiffer competition than they had during the 16-game winning streak, but they had to get the 16-game winning streak to get back in the mix. They did. Mission accomplished. Now they have a chance to figure out who they are before the deadline and figure out exactly what they need. 4th line's a black hole. You'd like to have some sort of upgrade there, even if it comes from upgrading higher up in the roster and pushing some people down. McLeod and Fogle have kind of come back down to earth production-wise as of late, something to keep tabs on there. I don't think this team can afford to move out a veteran defenseman. I don't care how good Broberg's been in the American Hockey League. So, yeah, it's going to make for a very intriguing time heading up to the trade deadline. A trade deadline, of course, that we will have full coverage of right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you cover CFL free agency the way we covered CFL free agency, then you're certainly going to cover the NHL trade deadline in a heavy, heavy fashion. So tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, please. And of course, if you are watching on YouTube, then heading off to work today, and you're like, man, I can't watch while I drive. That's okay. You don't have to watch while you drive. Just download the free TuneIn app, and you can listen on TuneIn just like you'd listen to any other radio station online. So connects to your car easy, and you're off and running. Darren Dreger coming up. How big a fish are the Oil going to go after? Is Austin Matthews going to actually hit 70? And why do the officials hate the Edmonton Oilers? We'll get into that coming up just after 7 o'clock with Darren Dreger. Cool Bet Hotline of the day still to come. I says pardon. We'll get into that around 7:30 today. Keegan Matheson on pitchers and catchers reporting as well. Always an exciting day around the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll get into that. Right now, let's get to a sports rewind for Universal Rewind.
Oilers doubled up last night down in St. Louis, 6-3 at the hands of the Blues. Former Oil King Jake Neighbors with a goal and 2 helpers. Jordan Binnington, 35 saves in the win. Connor McDavid, another 3 assists in the loss. Oilers are in Dallas tomorrow afternoon. You can join Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tomorrow. Coverage begins at noon here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the TuneIn radio app, and as well you can watch him on YouTube. Elsewhere last night, Dallas with a 9-2 win over the Preds. Vancouver topping the Red Wings 4-1. Kings, they escape New Jersey with a 2-1 win, while the Flames fall to the Sharks 6-3. Minnesota Timberwolves heading to the NBA All-Star break, tops of the West. They pummeled Portland last night, 128-91. All-Star game set to go on Sunday. Oil Kings, busy weekend on tap for them. The club are in Red Deer tonight before hosting the Rebels tomorrow. Holiday Monday afternoon, they welcome in the Medicine Hat Tigers to Rogers Place. Puck drop, 2 o'clock. Canmore doubling up Fort McMurray 6-3 last night in AJHL action. 3 games around the league later tonight. Toronto will host Montreal in the lone PWHL game tonight. Second round action at the Genesis Open will get underway later this morning. Adam Svensson, the low Canadian, he finished yesterday 4 under. He sits in a tie for 8th heading into today's action. And draw 1 at the Scotties Tournament Hearts will go this evening from Calgary. Alberta will be on Sheet B, taking on the Caitlin Laws Manitoba rink at 6 o'clock. Sports Update, Sports Rewind, brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service. Servicing many industries that we rely on daily, from agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing. Choose expertise, experience, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
The Nielsen Show, featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:02 in the morning on a Friday. Thank you very much for joining us. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. Matty Iwanek, Mr. Lean with us here as well. Darren Dreger expected to pop by in just a few moments, and we'll get his thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers leading up towards the trade deadline. You can text us anytime in the PJ's inbox. Go see our friends over at PJ's, ParisJewelers.com. And pop by any of their 22 locations, Canadian and family owned. And they'll look after you. They'll get you what you need at Paris Jewelers. You could end up winning text of the day for A&W. It's always tough to sort through the text messages when everybody's angry all day to find a good text for text of the day, but there's a few that have certainly trickled in so far this morning.
I really love the kidney transplant one. That was
I mean, that could really be a text of the day.
Had nothing to do with the loss. You know, it's kind of a merriment text. It gets people going. It's happy. It's funny.
That was a good one. 780-218-9999. It's been an interesting Connor Brown discussion today. The Nasty Chat was cruising along earlier and saying, why is anybody complaining about Connor Brown anymore? Like, Connor Brown is who Connor Brown is. He's had a couple of chances recently. He just can't bury. Last night, it was last night? Yeah, because Marcel and I were laying there watching the game. And had the 2-on-1. And Janmark drew a penalty.
Which they scored off the ensuing.
Yeah. But Marshall looked at me and goes, Daddy, that's what you said. You said Connor Brown would eventually score a goal on a shorthanded breakaway or odd man rush. I said, that's right, son. That is what I did. But I'm still not sure it's ever going to deliver.
No.
ever going to deliver. Played over 12 minutes last night. Still has not found the back of the net. Matthias Janmark pretty much hasn't done anything offensively yet this year either. So there's a need for upgrades in certain areas of this lineup. There's no doubt about it. St. Louis has been playing really good hockey as of late. And, they got some guys who can certainly produce. Binnington made a few huge saves last night. But your thoughts on all of it, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the Nasty Chat over on YouTube as well. And we'll get to all of that as we work our way through the show. Cool Bet Hotline of the Day still to come as well. But right now we are joined by our hockey insiders today from TSN and the Rain Dregs pod. Darren Dreger pops in here on a Friday. Mike Johnson was traveling today. MJ stepped in on Monday, so Dreg steps in today. Over at Pro-Am Sports right now, proamsports.ca, they've got private signing set up with four-time Stanley Cup champion Kevin McClellan and Brett Kulak as well. For more details there, hop online at proamsports.ca. Dregs, good morning. Happy Friday. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
Well, the city's reeling right now. Since the All-Star break, the Oilers have played 3 playoff-bound teams in the West and lost all 3 of them, including to the Blues last night. But like I said right before we brought you on, St. Louis has been playing some pretty good hockey as of late, and they look like a team that is going to be in the playoff mix in the West.
I agree with that. Didn't love their game on Tuesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It looked like they'd spent some time enjoying the Super Bowl on Sunday in Montreal, and despite
that's a tough place to be on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, that's a good point.
Can't blame them, mate.
Despite having a practice on Monday, they looked a little sluggish, let's just say, to start. But I agree with your overall assessment. It kind of sort of reminds me of the run they had in 2019 when they won the Stanley Cup. And not because I expect they're going to run the table here and then, go into the playoffs and do what they did in 19, but more about how this team is put together and the fact that at that time in 2019, Doug Armstrong wasn't really sure what direction this team was going to go in. First half of the year was dreadful. You get closer to the trade deadline, and they're playing much, much better in the second half. And he's like, all right, well, what do we do here? Do we improve this roster? Do we stand pat? Or do we allow this group to play through it? And if you remember back in 2019, Doug Armstrong's trade deadline acquisition was Michael Del Zotto for a 6th round draft pick. And away they go, and they win a Stanley Cup, because the group pulled together. So I'm starting to see some evidence of that. And I am curious, because we're inside the window leading up to the trade deadline, whether or not Armstrong feels the same. I checked in with him not long ago, and he did feel the same. Like, there's no reason to blow guys out and do this or that. So let's just see whether or not they can continue to pull in the right direction, and it looks like they will.
The Edmonton Oilers, on the other hand, we were talking about people. We're talking to people this morning saying, do you view this team as 18-3 in their last 21, which they are, or 2-3 in their last 5, which they are? And you know how it is in the Canadian hockey market. They're going to look at the last 5 games and go, well, this is what concerns me right now. But I kind of laid it out right before 6 o'clock. I mean, things were going so well during the winning streak. I think prior to the deadline, you want to get a better feel for what your team really is. And maybe the others are sensing that a little bit right now, right?
Yeah, that's probably true. And when you look at that 16-game run, look, not to dissect every single game, but there were games in there where they probably shouldn't have won those games. They just found a way. So as dramatic and as impactful as that streak was, there are some takeaways from it that I'm sure Chris Knobloch and the group continue to work on. And it is the ebb and flow of a real tough regular season. I put Edmonton in the category of a number of teams where you can see how more help is required or wanted. Maybe required is too strong a word. Wanted is the better word. Required maybe is the question. Or is this team good enough? They're going to lock down a playoff spot. There's no doubt of that. Yeah. Is this team good enough, though, to get into the playoffs and have a little bit more than they had last year in falling to Vegas, or a little bit more than they had against the Colorado Avalanche, who went on to win the Stanley Cup the year before? We're not going to know that until you get to the playoffs and the March begins. We can go through the lineup, and we can envision why Kenny Holland would be looking for another forward. we can appreciate why he continues to have conversations about some of the available defense. But people have to realize you don't just wave a magic general manager wand and acquire these pieces. So careful what you wish for, because not only can it affect the present if you have to give up roster spots, but it also clearly impacts the future. And even though Holland is on an expiring contract, he still wants to do right by the Edmonton Oilers and make sure that any deal that he makes is going to help the team both in the short term and the long term.
People do seem to be linking the Oilers to some of the bigger names that would be available here prior to the trade deadline. But we look at it and go, they could use a fourth line upgrade. They could certainly use a depth defenseman. Those are not significant moves, but people are also saying they should be in the mix for a top six forward. How aggressive do you expect Ken Holland and the Oilers management team to be prior to the deadline? Are they sitting here going right now, we have to deliver something for this group, or are they saying we'll see what's out there and try to take advantage of it?
Well, I think it's somewhere in between, to be fair, Dusty. I don't think they're sitting there going, yeah, we have to find a way to add some significant pieces here because we're at the end of our run here as a management group, and this team is that good. We have to give them everything needed to make sure that they're loaded going into the Stanley Cup playoffs. But I know that Kenny Holland isn't sitting there and going, okay, well, something falls in my lap, I'll take advantage of it. No, as I described a minute ago, he's in on all of those conversations. He's in on those conversations. We learned yesterday that Jake Gensel is out for a minimum of 4 weeks. I don't think that takes him out of the trade market. The only thing that takes him out of the trade market is a contract extension for me. If you're any team that has interest, and I got to believe Edmonton, any team looking for a forward, of course, would have interest in Jake Gensel. If you get to a place where, you're getting close to agreeing on the assets required to make a deal like that, then you dive into the medical, right? And you make sure that your doctors are in line with their doctors and you're okay with the fact that Gensel probably isn't going to play for a week or two after the trade deadline. Who cares? As long as it isn't something lingering that is going to be long-term, you need them healthy for the start of the playoffs. So those are conversations that I'm sure that Holland is having. I've seen all of the Jordan Eberle return speculation. I know that they've had conversations, a lot of conversations, in fact, with Philadelphia on Sean Walker, maybe some tire kicking with Tanev in Calgary, although that seems to be a tough deal to make. So there it is. It's somewhere in the middle of need and staying active enough, hoping that maybe the prices come down or the fit is there from the partner that you're dealing with so that you can make that deal.
Dreg, you mentioned, the Oilers are being in a group of teams where you're like, okay, there's some sort of level of improvement here needed. Prior to the deadline, are there any teams in the league at the top end that you would think would stay pretty content with what they've got right now?
It's a good question. I could see that with the Colorado Avalanche. We keep talking about the goaltending in Colorado, and if they brought in, say, Jake Gallen, which was rumored yesterday, is that a major deal? I don't think it is.
No.
Jake Allen's a good goaltender. He's got a heck of a resume, but you're not making a Markstrom trade or something of that ilk. I look at the Vegas Golden Knights. What Vegas needs is good health. If they can get, and they're getting closer, right? Eichel will be longer term, but when they get healthy, that's going to feel like, big acquisitions if you're Kelly McCrimmon or you're Bruce Cassidy in Vegas. And, over in the East, it's kind of tricky. I look at the New York Rangers. We know they'd like to add a forward. The Boston Bruins, it feels like, even though they're reeling a little bit now, they've got to add a centerman. They're so weak up the middle. They're being held together by goaltending and good coaching and a group that is bought into how you need to play. So, yeah, I think that there are teams that most definitely feel like they want and need to add. But among the teams that I've already talked about, the one team that's actually, now that we're talking through this, that I think is 100% okay with standing pat, a very dangerous team, Florida Panthers.
Good point.
They'd like to add a winger. they, a winger or a center, they have no cap space. So similarly to Edmonton, it's dollar in and dollar out. But Florida is 100% okay with adding zilch because they play such a good team game, and they're confident that they can duplicate what they did and maybe a little bit more than what they did last year.
Darren, 11 years and 2 days on the job for Jarmo Kekalainen out in Columbus, dismissed, of course, yesterday. The search begins. John Davidson, interim GM, saying it'll begin outside the organization. Yeah. Just your thoughts on this, Darren? Any names popping up? Obviously, this is very early days, but a pretty good roster and a pretty good, I'd say, fan base in place to kind of take over. Enthusiasm maybe waiting to pop from that fan base over the years. Who do you see maybe early days, and how does this affect the team heading towards and prior to the trade deadline? I know a lot of Oilers fans, maybe that Boone Jenner name, they want a wand waved, as you mentioned earlier. So,
yeah, well, good luck with that because, there's probably 20 teams that would love to grab hold of Boone Jenner. And when you look at untouchables in Columbus, if he's not on that list, the untouchables are the obvious, Fantilli, the younger pieces, but Boone Jenner would be right near that line. As for names of potential GM candidates, I feel like Davidson and company are going to go through the process here. So you'll see Mark Hunter's name attached. You'll see Matthew Darch's name attached. There'll be a list of deserving candidates like that. But then you're going to see some interesting ones, right? I think of Stan Bowman. He comes to mind. Is the National Hockey League ever going to let this guy off the mat? Now, automatically, there's going to be some resistance, especially if you're the Blue Jackets, because you already went through the Mike Babcock disaster prior to the start of the year. So do you want to bring that sort of media attention back towards the Columbus Blue Jackets? And the answer to that is probably no. I speculated on an interesting connection yesterday, and that's Jeff Gordon, who is the executive vice president of the Montreal Canadiens, has a long and solid history with John Davidson back with the New York Rangers. I know Davidson feels that Gortz in his heart is a general manager. So if that juice is still in Jeff Gordon, even though he's in a great spot with the Montreal Canadiens and they're further along than Columbus, I believe Davidson at least makes the call to Jeff Molson of the Canadiens to ask if he has permission to speak to Gorton at some point. If Molson says a hard no, okay, well, we move on. End of story. If he opens that door and allows Davidson to speak with Gorton, then I think it gets very intriguing, because then I think of what Kyle Dubas did. Well, the Pittsburgh speculation was out there. No. He's going to re-sign with the Maple Leafs. Well, then the extension talk goes sideways, and he ends up with a sweetheart dual job in Pittsburgh as president and general manager on a filthy long term. So, from a business perspective, maybe this works out for Gortz, but it isn't going to work out if Jeff Molson declines giving Columbus any sort of permission to talk to him.
Dregs, before I let you go, Austin Matthews, 3 more last night, natural hat trick, on pace for 71, and you have to think he takes a legitimate run at it, don't you?
I do, and I feel a bit ashamed because we had a quiz question on a Leafs broadcast about a month ago, and it was to give a percentage of Matthews scoring 70 or whatever the number. It was 70. It wasn't a percentage. It was, will Austin Matthews score 70? Will he score 65? Will he score 60? And I went with 65. And Jeff O'Neill, who sits with me on the panel, looked at me like I was bonkers. Like he was insulted that I said 65. He, of course, said 70 or 70 plus. I think he right now is the best goal scorer in the game. I really do. It's the release. It's the accuracy. It's the shot. It's where he scores from. We saw him score last night, as Cheryl Pounder identified, from 3 different areas on the ice: left side, middle, and the one-timer on the power play on the right side. The problem the Maple Leafs have is, they kick themselves in the shins through most of the game. And then for a 7-minute, 49-second period, they rely on Austin Matthews to bury him out. And top contending teams don't do that.
As always, Dregs, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for stepping in on a Friday. And no show on Monday because we got a holiday.
Yeah,
so.
enjoy the Scotties
so
as well.
Yeah, enjoy the Scotties.
100%. I will. We've had this conversation before, man.
Yep.
Curling and golf, there's nothing better on the couch on the weekend.
Yep.
We got lots of that coming up for sure. See you later, man. There you go. That's Darren Dreger. Ray and Dregs podcast, where you can find him, of course, on TSN as one of the leading hockey insiders in the business. All brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Visit them online at proamsports.ca for the recent signings. And pop by St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave. Go in and see the Cookson boys. They'll take care of you.
They'll take care of
They'll
you.
take care of you.
You can't just say it normal anymore. Hey, that it'll come out like that.
Yeah,
Take care of you.
They'll take care of you.
Take care of you.
Sean texts in for the first time ever, 780-218-9999. Happy Friday, guys. I feel that this game could have been very different if the Oilers had shot the puck more when presented the opportunity. Dry had a wide open look just above the hash marks midway through the first, tried to make a cue pass, and it led to a poke check and no shot. He's one of the best shots on the team and needs to start using it more at even strength. What say you? What say you, Sean? Thanks for the text this morning. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. You can listen to edmontonsportstalk.com or on the free TuneIn app. That was a weird play. Draisaitl got that in an excellent shooting spot with speed, tried to dump it back to Holloway, got Redwell broken up, and nothing from what should have been a pretty good scoring opportunity there. Edmonton Oilers on the trade deadline. Things are starting to heat up now just because of the 3 losses in their last 5 games. It's going to make the next 3 weeks extremely interesting. And as the kids say nowadays, I'm here for it.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat.
Oh, a classic line from a shark movie. Yeah. So last week, after they played Vegas and lost to them, we had a hangout there when we were
But
all
it
talking.
was close. It was tight.
Well, it was.
We were like, hey.
And I said at the time,
Rust, All-Star break, yada, yada.
I still think the Oilers can beat Vegas without making any lineup changes.
Rerun that game again, right? Like, as we said the day after. Rerun it, re-rack it.
I'm still leaning that way, but I'm not as confident about it now.
Just a lean.
Yeah, it's just like...
Just a lean.
They're just sloppier. They're sloppier right now. It's that simple. And I know the 16-game winning streak, they weren't perfect start to finish, 60 minutes every single game. But I don't remember games where they were legitimately as sloppy as they have been over the last 3 to 5 games.
Oh, no giveaways.
Even in the win against the Detroit Red Wings.
No giveaways.
Right? They weren't great. That was not an amazing game. That was a team that took advantage of a really good period.
But I said dating back to that Senators game, I would chalk up a lot of those wins during the streak. We're like that as well. They were just coming out on the good side of the result. This has been popping up here and there, and now you're finally seeing the results of it. And you're having a condensed schedule, and you're coming up against better opposition. Could be a perfect storm, but safe to say the new coach bump is over.
Yeah, that would be fair. That's a fair assessment. This text is in and says, Oilers compete against Vegas? Not with this roster. That's in from EA. Now, here's the thing,
Well, they
EA.
did, though, a week ago.
They've beat them already this year with this roster. And I thought they outplayed them last week and didn't get the win. So, yeah, they can compete against Vegas. Are they going to beat Vegas? Because somebody in the Nasty Chat earlier said whatever they do at the deadline, they have to construct this roster to beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Like, they're going to play Vegas in the first round. It's very much looking like that. They're not locked into that third spot yet. They're and obviously they're not locked into a playoff spot yet. But let's just quickly take a look at the standings. Like I was diving into this earlier this morning a little bit because the 2 wildcard teams right now are also a little comfortable, but not overly comfortable. The Oilers have 63 points. They're 5 points back of the Golden Knights. Do have 3 games in hand. 17 points back of the Canucks, not catching them. It's over. The Canucks are going to win the division. The Kings and Blues in the wild card spot right now, 60 points apiece. They're 3 points back. The Kings are 3 points back of the Oilers. The Oilers only have one game in hand on the Los Angeles Kings. So both of those teams are going to be playing a lot of hockey down the stretch. The Kings are trying to figure it out and sort of get things back on track. But the Oilers are 7 points up on the Nashville Predators with 4 games in hand. So the playoff spot is likely safe. First round matchup against the Golden Knights is likely, but the Kings are certainly going to have something to say about that. But you can't just look at the Golden Knights and go, okay, any trade we make prior to the deadline is just so we can get by the Golden Knights.
Well, no, I mean, for our little exercise this morning, maybe that's like what's an acquisition today that could, again, if that texter is saying this roster cannot compete with them, what's the acquisition today that makes you feel like they can? But certainly not, I think, from an overall view, you're going into the trade deadline saying, what do we need to beat Vegas? And that's it. For today, we can discuss that, but...
This text is in and said, morning, Oilers got robbed by Binnington. He stoned Hyman twice in the first period, and then Derek Ryan on a breakaway in the second. The tides are turning. Uh-oh.
Well, they had their chances.
The tides are turning.
They did have chances last night that, again, if you had a goaltender other than Jordan Binnington in the net, perhaps you're cashing in on a few of those, and the game takes a different turn.
If they were to not beat Dallas on Saturday afternoon.
Well, you're putting that out there now.
And have lost 4 straight to Western Conference playoff teams.
But if they lose 3-1 with an empty netter, and it's a tight game, back and forth, they're hanging with him all game long.
Doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I'm saying I don't think it matters to the fans' reaction.
No, I get that. But stylistically, I mean, if you can compete with teams, they competed with Vegas. They were there. You run that game back, it's fine. But you're getting shut out by the Kings. You run into a little penalty problem and a good goaltender last night, but doubled up 6-3. Stylistically, I think you can look at these things and of course we won't. We won't look at it like that. We'll just...
Do either of you guys have anything to say to some of the tweets I saw last night post-game of they're 3-3 since Corey Perry joined the team? Did Corey Perry disrupt the chemistry of the club, even though you like what Corey Perry brings to the table?
I don't think visibly you can kind of sit here and confidently say that today, that he's... Now, the record...
if you're watching the game and going, this is on Corey Perry, I think that's a crazy take.
No. And I mean, there's nothing, again, that you're seeing, I don't think, within the game that would suggest that he there is providing a formula. But it's coincidental, I guess. And people will take that and run with it.
D. White is in on the nasty chat and says, can Skinner handle a deep playoff grind if he's tired after this 2-month stretch? Well, maybe not, but that's why we say play Pickard.
Yeah.
Pickard's been fine in a backup role. Mix in 8 or 9 Pickard games between now and the end of the season, and Stuart Skinner should probably be just fine. 780-218-9999. Let's get into your Cool Bet hotline of the day. We hit yesterday as Connor McDavid over 1.5 points. We also hit later on from the lock shop Connor McDavid over 1.5 assists in the hockey game last night, which was nice. Mr. Lean, what have you been working on over there, buddy? What are you looking at tonight?
It's the start of the fun season. The Scotties, baby.
Scotties. We're going curling.
Yeah.
We're going curling.
Not tonight. I'm going to go to the morning draw tomorrow. In the 8 matches between today and tomorrow, like there's not a lot of value out there. That's like there's heavy favorites and heavy underdogs in these. Oh no, actually this one is tonight. I was actually looking at one tomorrow. I'm going to tonight. Canada.
There's no morning draw tomorrow either. Just the afternoon.
Is it afternoon?
Okay,
the second draw too. Then I'm looking at Canada, Quebec. Canada heavy favorites, minus 1250.
Oh my God!
Huge favorites.
Can't do anything there.
But Anderson, well, you could do something in the match. Anderson and St. George's, they met last year. St. George's actually had a pretty good Scotties last year. She finished 5-3. She made it to the tiebreakers. She only lost by 3 to Anderson's rink last year.
Okay.
For Canada to win at 3 or less.
The rock line.
I'm looking at the rock line, the spread. Quebec, plus 3.5 is plus 110. So can Quebec lose by 3 points or less or win this, and you get some value at plus 110? I like that. Anderson got off to a slow start a little bit last year, too, with the Scotties.
It's draw one. It's draw
one.
one.
They met early last year, too. She's now at St. George's. She's been here at the Scotties. This isn't the big, bright lights that, you get those new rinks sometimes, first times getting there.
Yeah.
Going up against Team Canada, what are you going to do? I'm going to go with St. George's in Quebec, keeping it within 3. with Anderson and Team Canada, she's looking for what, her 4th straight Scotties, or is it 5th straight?
Something like that, something unworldly like that. But
the rink's just been unbelievable. But it's going to be a fun time. Vic Rauter,
competing in the 4th.
Going for her 4th straight?
Returns to Calgary for the 4th time and first since 2021.
Returns to Calgary.
Yeah.
My internet's slow. I'm trying to load it up.
But a very good rink. Yeah.
Vic Rauter's back. Russ Howard's back.
Yes.
We get it like 4 to the next 6 weeks or whatever it is, their voices. We get the evening draws. There's nothing like a 7 o'clock Tuesday night, Team Alberta, Team Saskatchewan for 3 hours.
You can have your Groundhog Day. This is the first sign of spring. Spring has sprung.
Unbelievable. It looks like she's going for her 4th straight Scotties title, her 4th straight win. But yeah, Quebec keeping it within 3 tonight.
Scott, this makes me miss Huss on the lock shop today.
Yeah, we didn't get his favorites for the
Huss
tournament.
usually has a great breakdown of all of the major events for curling.
Well, Karrick Martin of Team Kua yesterday says Rachel Holman's rink's just playing really well this season, and they are the favorites coming into this. It's been a while since Holman's won the Scotties. That's what he praised how well the Holman rink is going right now. If you're looking for a tournament long winner.
Cool bet hotline of the day for today. I'm going to go to Tiger at the Genesis. Somebody texted in and said, guys, where's Steinbeck, the nemesis today? He was in there. He was in the Nasty Chat yesterday. So you see the shank for Tiger on 18 yesterday?
Yeah, people all over it.
Oh,
all over it.
Man, that just made me feel so good. I know, like, I'm just like, look at that, Tiger down. Now, I do that 8 times around where it's just like, oh, that ball's gone. But to see Tiger do it, I was like, wow, he still is normal.
1 over. Hey,
but he was 1 over. He was 1 over yesterday. His round 2 score, 71.5. Over is a -154. Under is +110. I'm gonna side with Tiger. I know a little bit of back spasms yesterday, but screw it. Let's get on Tiger under 71.5 today at +110. Plus money on Tiger today for your cool bet. Plus, how many more times we get to do this? Right, you got to get on Tiger while you can. Cheer for him today. We'll see how it plays out.
And Jennifer Jones as well, final ride. I'm sure you'll be...
yeah, you could jump on Jennifer Jones there.
From one eye on the Scotties this weekend.
This could be the last time.
Oh, JJ there.
Well, she's still playing mixed.
Yeah, but the actual Jennifer Jones rink.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones to outright win the Scotties, I think is 3rd best odds, +680. +680 to go out on top.
Steinbeck, the nemesis.
I see he's popped in. A little sprinkle on Jenny Jones, eh?
Yeah.
Why not?
Jenny Jones.
All right, let's get to a sports update for Lieutenant Eric. On the other side, I says pardon. This is exciting. And also, Keegan Matheson's going to be by. And we're going to talk pitchers and catchers. Do the Blue Jays really have anything else? We'll get into that with Keegan Matheson. Looks like Manoah slimmed down, trying to get his career back on track.
No more jokes.
What an opportunity.
Yeah. Oilers doubled up down in St. Louis 6-3 by the Blues. Jordan Binnington, 35 saves on the evening, while Connor McDavid had 3 assists in the loss. Oilers in Dallas tomorrow afternoon. We'll get you set for that one. You can join Tom Gazzola. He'll have an Oil Stream pre- and post-game show tomorrow beginning at noon here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can listen as well on the TuneIn Radio app, and you can watch live on YouTube. Elsewhere last night, Stars over the Preds 9-2. Flames lose to the Sharks 6-3. Kings escape New Jersey with a 2-1 win. In Vancouver, topping Detroit 4-1. NBA All-Star Weekend is set with the game going Sunday. The Timberwolves head into the break, top of the West. They pummeled Portland last night, 128-91. Busy weekend for the Oil Kings. The club are in Red Deer tonight before hosting the Rebels tomorrow night. Holiday Monday, we'll see the club host the Medicine Hat Tigers. Puck drop 2 o'clock from Rogers Place. 3 games around the AJHL tonight. Last night it was Canmore doubling up Fort McMurray 6-3. Toronto will host Montreal in the lone game in the PWHL tonight. Second round action at the Genesis Open will get underway later this morning. Adam Svensson, your low Canadian. He finished yesterday 4 under. He sits in a tie for 8th heading into today. In Draw 1 at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts will go tonight down in Calgary. Alberta will be on Sheet B, taking on the Caitlin Laws Manitoba rink. Coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock on TSN. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where they put Mitch Lewicki, number 19, on the TSN trade bait board.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as newborn 8-pound, 6-ounce Mitch Lewicki. You can picture grown-up Mitch, or teenage Mitch, or bearded Mitch, or whoever you want.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die just to feel you in my veins.
Well in the Wolf, EST House Band. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or you hit us up on YouTube as well. Still cracking packs. Still cracking this OPG that we we got Brett Kulak on the Habs. Yeah. How's that in 23-24 OPG?
Is that from the bubble?
That's wild to me. But we pulled McDavid, we pulled Cece, we got the Nuge, we got Zach Hyman, and we still got a couple of packs left in that bad boy as well. Hey, I wanted to get to this text. It came in a little bit earlier, 6 o'clock hour. They're asking for a classic conch, but maybe we'll give them the little whistle conch today.
Yeah.
Guys, can I get a conch for Coach Young of Ross Shep's senior men's basketball team? Brilliant career with many city and provincial championships. He coaches his final league game tonight. Great career, even better mentor for young people. Thanks. That's in from somebody who's called the coach, but that's for Coach Young's of Ross Shep. Sounds like a great run. Sounds like a great run. All right, let's see here. We do have Keegan Matheson coming up. He's going to join us around 7:45. 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. I'll have a chance for you to win a gift certificate to Sobeys Safeway Liquor with the beer of the week coming up around 8:40 today. Jim is back in the nasty chat, says the refs were awful last night. The refs, it wasn't a great night for the refs, but the Oilers did not lose that game because of the refs last night. I'm sorry. I'm not buying into it.
You don't agree with Knobloch's post-game comments then?
No, I don't, actually. I don't agree with Knobloch's post-game comments. And, I mean, if you're going to get frustrated because of calls you don't like, then you need to just skip over it. I mean, you got to get past that. You can't get rattled by that. By saying, it was all on the officials last night, you're giving the team a pass for how they played. And tell me how you thought they played last night. Do you think the Oilers played a great game last night and it was just the officials that screwed them over?
Robbed.
Nope. Sorry, I don't think so. If the Oilers had played an amazing game and got hosed by a couple of bad calls, then yeah, I get it. Have the conversation. Complain about it. But the Oilers did not play well enough last night to lose that game because of officiating, in my opinion. We can politely disagree if that's the case. If you want to chime in, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up anytime in the nasty chat on YouTube as well. Colin the Amishman is in and says, hey, I went to Ross Shep. He always seemed like a great teacher, even though he never taught me directly. That's nice. I like seeing these local stories. That's great. All right, let's get into I Says Pardon, brought to you by Lawyer Central. Get a clean slate at an affordable rate. Everybody makes stupid mistakes. If you're still paying for yours, you don't have to. All right, they'll take care of it for you. Visit www.lawyer-central.com/pardons. or call 1-888-288-8177. That's 1-888-288-8177. www.lawyer-central.com/pardons. Maybe you have a record because of something you did in your stupid younger years and it's been hampering you from work or travel. Have them take care of it for you as well. Did you guys see the trailer? This is my I Says Pardon for the EA Sports college football video game.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. Glad you're bringing this up. We almost got punked a while back. Somebody thought it was going to be on the Natty, and it never happened.
Yeah,
You're waiting for the whole Natty, and it was like, oh no. But yes, now it is out.
It's the trailer itself. I mean, it's not showing a bunch of gameplay or anything. It's just
from the big house to the bayou.
But
from Carolina to California.
How does that not get you fired up? I saw yesterday. I says, wait a second. I Says Pardon. College football video game?
Did you
Here
play?
We go.
Did you play back in the day?
I used to play NCAA.
Better than Madden. Better than Madden.
It was. 100%.
I always professed better than Madden. The options, everything.
The recruitment process.
No, you didn't get the names of the player, but you knew who it was. Like Vince Young, number 2. Like,
do we get the names of the players now? Because of the nil?
No, it's not necessarily because of the nil as much as maybe it is. This would go into a court case. Like the players will get paid and stuff.
Okay.
Like
so we should be able to get the names of the players. And then a bunch of new high school names that get created along the way as you continue.
I believe that it's one of the delays that took was trying to figure out how to sort out how to pay people.
Look, as long as you have the mascot option for each team, that's the best. It's a great game. Blows Madden out of the water.
I cannot wait to try. Like
I don't know if I could go that far.
I
not
think
in
back
the early
in the day
2000s.
it did pretty
Not
good.
early 2000s. I don't know.
I'm just a college guy. I just like the game.
I
More
played
options,
both.
You know,
the atmosphere at the college stadiums. Like I don't know. It came across pretty cool.
I think Madden was like of its height was still better than NCAA at its height. At the height,
gameplay or graphics
all around.
Yeah,
all around. I do think that like Madden of like 04, the Michael Vick year was probably better than any of the NCAA football games.
Again, the options of you're the recruit and then you go on, you can win the Heisman and all
or
this
the other
stuff
way, and you're going out and you're recruiting.
Yeah.
4 stars and the 5 stars. I used to love it, and that was like 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
With what you can do now in games, man, I'm assuming this game is going to be absolutely amazing.
Expecting a lot.
The NCAA football game was one of my favorite sports games I ever played because of all the behind-the-scenes type of stuff. That's why I love FIFA so much. The recruitment process, right? Like that, I absolutely love
So
the
I'm
transfer
surprised
windows.
that
Like
you're not so up on like how the cups work in soccer. Like you would have learned from the game.
Yeah, I just kind of played whatever game was on the schedule.
The next game up, that's the mentality.
It didn't
That's
matter
why
to
you're
me.
a winner.
So, I Says Pardon, NCAA, EA Sports, NCAA Football, 25. I got a lot of time for that. I cannot wait. I'm very much looking forward to finding some time to actually play that video game when it comes out. That was, I think it's going to be outstanding. I hope they don't drop the ball on it. I hope it doesn't roll out and you're like, man, we've been waiting this long for this game, and now this happened.
Screw it. Play the old ones. I'll still pull out the old ones.
Dust those off. Why not? Yeah.
The 06.
Wouldn't it be something this is just crap? Like for so long and something like there's a glitch in it or something. Just
I
give me the
prefer
mascot
the older
games.
games a little bit more than the newer games.
The which?
The older games.
Yeah.
I prefer them a little bit more than the newer games.
Have you played many of the newer games, though?
No, like as the Madden's gone, like I'll use that one because I played Madden and bought every one from like 02 to 19 or something like that. It just wasn't, I don't know. It's too clean.
Yeah.
You know, like
these games are too good.
When
Well,
we played
there's
Tecmo
a
Super
point.
Bowl, there was a
Well,
beauty.
Tecmo was, that's one
There's
of the
a
greatest sports
beauty
games
of
of all
it.
time.
It's just how simplistic it was.
Bit choppiness kind of adds to the mix.
How we always had the Tecmo gods argument that there was just always those weird plays that would happen, and we just blamed the Tecmo gods because they made no sense.
God, I miss that game.
Same with NHL games. We always go back to NHL,
Oh,
94, 95, 90, or whatever the case is.
02 on PC for me.
People love those. 02 on PC?
On PC.
You're doing it on the keyboard?
NHL
Why
on
not?
PC was
Daddy.
elite.
You're sick. You're sick.
NHL on PC was better than a video
Are
system.
you rigging a controller up or are you using
No,
the
use the keyboard, baby.
You were keyboarding it?
Figured out that keyboard so well.
It's like my buddy who had like NHL 96 or 97 for the PC, and he had it in the room upstairs at his house next to his room. So it wasn't in his room, but it was next to his room. And I remember I'd come over and be like, check this out. And I had the Super Nintendo at home or whatever. And he's like, you just play like this. And he's using the arrow keys and like X, Y, and Z over here. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, man. He goes,
I
yeah,
could
but
never
check
do
this out. He goes, you hit this, and it records your place, and then you can see your goals.
Yeah.
And that I thought was cool. I was like, because I was even like a play-by-play nerd when I was like 15, 16. I was like, oh, man, you could cut highlights over here and actually do highlight packages and stuff. I thought it was pretty awesome.
Keyboard was elite.
Nah.
For the NHL game? For the NHL game?
But like,
That's a hot take.
But if keyboard gaming was elite, people wouldn't be playing computers with controllers now. You know what I mean? Like if it was that good, people would still be gaming on just the keyboard.
It's just weird not to hold the controller into it and doing like a.
Because even PC gamers now have controllers, right? Like
I don't know. I don't watch them.
me neither. That's what I was wondering. Somebody let us know. Like for guys who like are on Twitch and stuff playing PC games, they're not playing on the keyboard in 2024, right? I know you can get some pretty souped up keyboards.
Sure. Oh yeah, they.
But I still feel like
I feel like it's keyboards.
No way.
I feel like when you look at the gaming systems that are out there, those big expensive things, there's still like these massive keyboards that come with them.
I would bet it's probably split and it's vicious. Like the keyboard gaming community hates the PC controller gaming community, and the same way.
Johnny Alberta, I'm with Matt. I still have NHL 09 on my PC and keyboarded up, he says.
Come on, you're not. What?
It's just such a weird.
Strummy saying keyboard gaming is huge now.
It's huge now? Like it's come back?
I don't know.
Why would we have gone back to keyboard gaming?
Because the more options, maybe. With
Do we not
buttons.
realize you can play a game now with like just a headset on? You don't even have to use your hands at all, let alone for a keyboard.
Yeah, the people are saying it's the keyboard.
What?
Well, we're out to lunch.
This is what I learned on the show today. Yeah. Keyboard gaming.
Never left.
I says, pardon?
Yeah, exactly. Nice work, Matty. Man, that blows my mind.
You missed out then. If you didn't play the NHL with the keyboard on PC, that was one of the.
When I
outside of NHL 94, like NHL 94 is the GOAT. We all know that.
Yes.
Take GOAT away. If you never played on the PC with the NHL game, you missed out.
When I got Tecmo for my home PC, I got a controller for it. I wasn't playing it on the keyboard. I'm a controller guy.
It's just weird having the hands flat on the thing. And
the keyboard is better. The controller is more accessible. How can the keyboard? So you're going to be sitting here like this one says top Fortnite players are mouse and a keyboard. Well, mouse is a little
different
bit
game though.
Like you're going around playing the game, you're like, oh, R.
But in a sports
Enter,
game like hockey, it's all thumbs to me.
You can set up the shortcuts or the keys
so you're like
for how you need
you're
if
like
you need
the
to.
Jim Carrey gif from Bruce Almighty, where it's like,
yes,
that's the
Well, like
guy?
you've set up to exactly where you'd want it and stuff, and you have a lot more options to set up than I would guess.
Darren G says shooters are still number one with the mouse and keyboard's the best.
I
for
can
those.
understand the keyboard with a shooter game, a first-person
with
shooter.
the mouse, it's cheating. So you can just zoom right in with your mouse and click on somebody's head and shoot them in the head.
I don't know if the zoom would work, would it?
What about the mouse?
Or is it I would. Yeah, I never was good at the shooter games.
Yeah, I peaked with GoldenEye in the shooter games.
Medal of Honor wasn't too bad for the old PS1.
You were playing a game quite a bit when we were at the old place. What was that?
Oh,
one?
I still kind of. Well, we're Shogs on it too. It's the what is it? Badlands. I always forget the name. Ghost Recon. The Ghost Recon series.
Ghost
Those
Recon.
are
Shogs on
great.
it, you know.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Still wants me to buy that damn headset.
You should get a headset and play.
Well, he should buy me a headset.
Play
if he
video
wants to play
games
so
with
bad.
Shog.
Well,
Yeah,
get
he's
me.
got that
I mean,
guy your
he's probably
back
got
money.
5 headsets. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on the show on Monday because there's no show.
I know.
Realize that. It's going to month
Wow.
ago.
Well, we should get him on Tuesday then. If really.
I did that when during the holiday break. I just said, "Hey, since we didn't have a show Monday, you want to do Tuesday?" And he did it. So.
Oh, maybe we should text him.
But you also got Gager the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Completely unnecessary then. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Guys, the keyboard has a way higher learning curve, so people use controllers, but the keyboard is way more versatile.
I don't
know how
understand.
a keyboard that's like stationary locked in there is more versatile than just moving your
I just
hands
find the
around playing
thumbs.
the
It's
game.
the thumbs.
I don't know. What an interesting debate. What an interesting debate. Keegan Matheson's going to join us. Pitchers and catchers. My God, is this exciting. Lawyer Central. For I says pardon. Visit them. Lawyer-central.com/pardons or 1-888-288-8177. We'll get to more of your text messages and nasty chats. Doofus P. Skinner is not a Stanley Cup goal. Here we go. Here we go. It's that day. It's that day. We'll get to that as we work our way through the third hour of the show today. Don't worry. Full-blown Oilers meltdown in hour number 3. All right, let's go to Keegan Matheson. Pitchers and catchers have reported what a time to be alive. Keegan, how does it feel to be working again?
You know, it is nice to have a purpose in my life, guys. I'll be honest. You know, that every off season, I think it's beautiful. November, December, I sit on the couch, maybe have the odd drink. It's lovely. Around January, I do start to want to have some semblance of purpose. So it's good to be back here. Very good.
I like to imagine you at your home during the off season with a big calendar and you rip one thing off every day as it works towards pitchers and catchers reporting. Is that true? Is that a thing that you do?
You know, my professional answer is yes. I just count down the days till I can come back to work. It's amazing how quickly it sneaks up on me too. I think the Super Bowl tricked me this year. You know, normally the Super Bowl happens when I'm down here, but for the past few weeks I've said, the Super Bowl will come, then I'll deal with spring training. I left the next day. You know, it comes fast, it comes quick, but I'll take it. I'll take the sunburn over whatever's happening in Toronto right now.
As pitchers and catchers roll in here now, what is the big storyline for the Blue Jays as we get our first look at all these guys?
You know, I think my early question, what I wanted to look at first, was Alek Manoah on this team. You know, this is a team, guys, that doesn't have a ton of big, crazy variables. You know, there's not really a top prospect yet kicking the door down. There's not a lot of big new names, frankly. We've talked about that. There's not a lot of turnover or change or competition. But Alek Manoah is the story that could really change things this season. Is he going to be a guy with a 5 ERA who you're thinking about optioning again? Or is he going to put up a 3.5 ERA and turn this into one of the best rotations in baseball? This could go 100 different ways, guys. He looks good. He has slimmed down. He's grown out the beard. He's got that sparkle back. It's good for day one. You need to see him actually do it. But everything so far, so good. And I think Manoah has to say that big story because he can be really good or it can be a problem again.
You mentioned how he's slimmed down. How much of the issues that he was dealing with last season was due to his weight, do you think?
I think that is a big factor on it, guys, because of the pitch clock. And because when your heart rate gets up and you're struggling, that's tough. You know, when you have that momentum and you're succeeding, cool. You just keep punching. You are a bulldog. You're going downhill. Fantastic. But just from a basic physical standpoint, guys, Manoah is a big guy. I'm a big guy, and he's someone who I have to look up to talk to. He is a big dude. For Alek Manoah to get through his delivery, climb back up the mound, and start again, that's different than Yusei Kikuchi doing it. Those are two different shaped human beings. You know, Alek Manoah is carrying a lot of load out there. So when you've got a pitch clock ticking and ticking and ticking, and that heart rate gets up, that's not good. So I think he will be better suited for that this year. You still need to see results because this time of year is full of stories about guys looking great and it never matters. But he has controlled his side of it so far. I like how he looks. The beard looks fantastic. Great camp for beards here so far. But he looks good so far.
Well, Keegan, speaking of that, you looked as well good. The Hazel May video of you rolling into camp yesterday, a 5-tool guy here. Ross Atkins explained to you, though, the offensive coordinator role. Could you take the time to explain to some of us here who may have missed that as well?
Yes, and that's something that's even taken me a while to understand, and it's my job to understand it. Now, Don Mattingly will be the offensive coordinator, which is a football word, essentially. But what it means is that a year ago, it was a little more voices coming from every direction. Guillermo Martinez led the fundamentals, which means your swing and your approach, whereas Dave Hudgens led more of the strategy. What are we going to do? How are we going to deploy it? This year, it's going to be a little more singular. So all of that, all of those messages and words and buzzwords are going to be coming from Don Mattingly, who, speaking of good beards, Donnie Baseball, look out. He's grown out a good one. But it's all going to be coming from Mattingly straight down. I think that's a very good thing. Now, it has to be the right message. It has to work. But so much information in baseball, guys, I think that teams need to simplify it, and they need to make it individual to the players. So the simpler you can make this, the better. Baseball is complicated enough. It's impossible to hit a baseball. It impresses me that anyone does it. So you need to simplify this and let the players be the players. I think having one voice in their ear instead of 20 is at least a very good start.
Which Blue Jay that doesn't have a beard would you like to see with a beard?
Wow. Let me go through. You know what? Imagine if Bo Bichette grew out a beard with that hair.
My God.
You know?
Hey.
That would be electric. You know, he'd have the real tight. He would not have the wild man beard. He'd have it trimmed. He'd have it kept tight.
That'll be good.
I think that would be a good look. You know, it's Manoah's beard. Some of the guys growing them out. It's important. But, you know, and let's be honest, too, guys like me, we're not exactly hiding a chiseled jawline here. You know, we're not trying to cover up a sharp features. So some guys don't need to, but, man, you pair that with Bo's hair, you've got a look.
Keegan Matheson with us, covers the Toronto Blue Jays for MLB.com. The rotation last year was outstanding. You mentioned it, but Noah gets back on track to be even better this year. What about beyond that? What are you expecting from the pen this year?
Yeah, the bullpen last year was really good. Really good. This whole pitching staff, frankly, deserved to get deeper, deserved to get better. I like this bullpen group a lot. Jordan Romano, and I don't say this lightly, I don't say it often, I think he's underrated in Major League Baseball. A, he's just plain good, but B, he's consistent. And to have a guy like him be that good for a few years in a row does not happen often. You know, bullpen guys, every once in a while, every 2 or 3 years, even the good ones, just have a bad year. It's the nature of relievers. But Romano is so good. When you have Swanson, Tim Meza, speaking of underrated, my God, Tim Meza is good. But you have some depth there, and you're going to have enough guys on the fringes, the guys who are like a Nate Pearson, for example. Maybe they pop, maybe they don't. But that's part of building a bullpen. You collect a few guys, hope somebody has that big year, and you go from there. I think they have enough depth there. I think the pitching on this team is frankly really good. The pitching just needs to be supported more by that offense.
Last one for you, Keegan, and I wanted to get to this, and it's not just a pitchers and catchers question. And you did mention earlier there's no like top prospect that's breaking the door down, but are there a few guys who are close in the system to factoring into this thing?
Yeah, Ricky Tiedemann, guys, the number one prospect. This should be the year that he does debut. You know, Aurelvis Martinez, there are some position players, but Ricky Tiedemann has such special talent. I mean, coming from the left side, the whole package, not only does he have incredible talent, there's some personality there. There's some cool to Ricky Tiedemann, and that matters. I think he's a guy that if it works out, fans are going to love. And I think he's really interesting because, like a lot of high-powered young prospect pitchers, maybe he doesn't just step in and start 30 games this year, but maybe you can bring him up as a long reliever, as a guy that you use as a really unique weapon out of the bullpen as you get him ready. And a guy like that who's throwing high 90s from the left side, ridiculous. He's in great shape. He's put on 20 pounds, a lot of muscle, and he's looking real good. I think this has to be his year if he can stay healthy, but the talent is incredible.
As always, buddy, great catching up with you. We'll let you get back to work, if you can call it that. Enjoy watching the baseball players, man.
You got it, my friends. We'll talk soon.
All right, there you go. That's Keegan Matheson. He mentioned Ricky Tiedemann and the coolness level. There is something about baseball at that time of year just being cool. Like Marshall plays baseball. Just registered him for his third year of baseball last night. He'll be in his second year of 9 and under. And I hope it leads to some coolness for the kid, too. He's very much like me, and I know some of you probably think I'm insanely cool, but I'm not. And and I would like to see Marshall start rolling in and playing baseball with his sunglasses on. Now they'd have to be over top of his regular glasses, which obviously hurts the coolness factor.
But then you can have those big vipers over top of his regular glasses. Like maybe you're thinking of a little mullet action.
Turn
with his
your
haircut.
hat backwards for a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull those socks up.
I don't know if he's of age yet, but maybe a faint mustache.
One of the kids
to really intimidate the opposition.
Yeah, I get him some eye black.
I just draw it on. Yeah.
One of the kids I coached in hockey a couple years ago, Leo. We played against him last year in baseball, and I just looked right away, and I was like, "This kid's awesome at baseball."
Leo?
Yeah, I could just tell by the way.
Tell
by the way, like I think he had like the little wristband on, and this kid, he was 8, and he's laying out for grounders and like making plays from his knees, but at the same time, like straight brimmed hat, the glasses on top of the hat. I was just like,
never worn.
It's the same thing with my daughter. Like Elizabeth is cooler now. She's 6, turns 7 next week. She's cooler now than I've ever been at any moment in my life. Like some people just have it, and baseball players have it.
Dress for success, right? And that kind of the drip coming off some of these ball players. But I'd love to see Marshall. I think you outfit him just to the nines.
Really, I'd take him in to one of these baseball plays and be like, make him the coolest kid out there.
Just get him a rosin bag just to carry around.
Yes.
Why not? Even though he just
a rosin bag for coach pitch.
Yeah, big tub of double bubble, everything involved, all the accessories, just stack them up.
It's fun having your kids in baseball. There's not like that hockey pressure. It's very chill. I loved coaching baseball last year too. I was an assistant coach and I loved it.
You weren't the dad behind the backstop keeping the score?
Nope. Full-blown assistant coach out there yelling at kids to stop watching the ball and run to the base.
Do you wear the uniform as well? Because you should. If we're talking about drips for Marshall, I mean, you should be total dugout guy.
I can't wait for Blue Jays opening day.
Cleats
now
and
that
everything.
we're on video. I've been wearing my Blue Jays setup for years with no video.
The old
my Cito Gaston jacket on opening day. It's gonna be great.
Full uniform though for Marshall's games. Stirrups, the whole bit. Cleats.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I need it.
Yeah. All right, coming up, third hour of the show, Sobeys the Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. I don't know why. I like Beer of the Week more at this place than the old place. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe I was always just like, they're watching us. Somebody's going to shut this down.
I don't think the old place knew we were doing it for years. To be honest with you, maybe that's a Tuesday confession, but...
Sobeys the Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up here just after, probably around 8:40 today. More of your Oilers panic on the way in hour number 3 as well. We've got 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. We're going to get into that. And we need somebody right now to play kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. Let's go. We got a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. Who wants it? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Just text Maddie and say you would like to play kind of easy trivia today. Take a run at this gift certificate. 780-218-9999. You know what's the best thing about Mr. Mike's? For the longest time, it was the classic Mike burger. But now it's the fact that they got the 6 o'clocker lager on tap. What a time to be alive. 780-218-9999 into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Let Matt know that you would like to play. If you're looking for work, Claiborne Services, they're looking for you. Lieutenant Eric's got more on that right now as part of a sports update.
Oilers playing game 1 of a 3-game road trip last night down in St. Louis. They'd fall 6-3 to the Blues. Connor McDavid, 3 assists in the loss. Oilers in Dallas tomorrow afternoon. You can join Tom Gazzola. He'll have your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tomorrow. Coverage beginning at noon here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can also catch it on the TuneIn Radio app and watch live on YouTube. Stars with a 9-2 win over the Preds last night. Vancouver topping Detroit 4-1. Kings with a 2-1 win out in Jersey. And the Flames fall to the Sharks 6-3. Minnesota Timberwolves heading to the NBA All-Star break, tops of the West. They pummel Portland 128-91. All-Star game will go on Sunday. Busy weekend down tap for the Oil Kings. The club are in Red Deer tonight. They'll host the Rebels tomorrow night. Holiday Monday afternoon, they'll welcome in the Medicine Hat Tigers to Rogers Place. Puck drop, 2 o'clock. 3 games around the AJHL tonight. Canmore doubling up Fort McMurray 6-3 last night. Toronto will host Montreal in the lone PWHL game this evening. On the course, second-round action at the Genesis Open will get underway later this morning. Adam Svensson, he finished yesterday 4 under. He sits in a tie for 8th heading into today. Draw 1 at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts goes tonight down in Calgary. Alberta will be on Sheet B, taking on the Caitlin Laws Manitoba rink. Coverage starting at 6 o'clock. Sports update for Claiborne Services. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.claiborneservices.com, or you can make it easy. Give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
We built this smitty on greasy eagles. Built this smitty. We built this smitty on greasy eagles. Everybody knows him. Best mullet in the league. probably know that he never gets fatigued. Face first in the corner, scoring every night. So many young kids, Smitty's in the spotlight. He may not be the captain, but Smitty sure plays a role. So just remember, we built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy gold. We built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy gold. Built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy gold. Smitty's always playing in the biggest games, but he'll never make it to the Hall of Fame. He may use his elbows or just use his fists. It's why we gave him a spot on our beauty list. He may not be the captain, but Smitty sure plays a role. So just remember, we built this Smitty. We built this Smitty on greasy gold.
Oh, we built this, Smitty. That's a pick me up, right?
Well, Big Maple Sports Cars and Nasty Chat Boys, this is feeling like a vault day. We need a clip or three. Maybe pick a number. Pick a number.
To get
Big
going,
Maple.
right?
Yeah.
Just
it's Friday.
It'll pick me up today. Pick me up today. Why not?
Jasmine wants Marshall rocking a gold chain for the upcoming bowl
Good,
season.
good
a real,
idea.
A real heavy one.
Good idea.
We can make
Real
that happen.
heavy gold chain that before every play he has to tuck back in, right? Before every single play.
I love the dressing up of Marshall for this upcoming bowl
Those
season.
are all great ideas. Yeah. Those are all great ideas. Tammy's going to be like, why does Marshall have chewing tobacco? Well, is he playing baseball or is he not playing baseball?
What are we doing here? Yeah.
I mean, let's figure this out. All right. Let's get into a little kind of easy trivia today. Maddie, who's going to play today?
Dr. John is on the line.
A real doctor. Or he just, because you can be anybody you want in the Parachuters inbox, he's just pretending to be a doctor, which I got a lot of time for, too. In fact, I almost like it more. First, I want to get to this text. Fellas, I went to Mr. Mike's last night for the first time. The sirloin bites were fantastic.
Yeah.
Once again, we're not going to give you advice to go try food that sucks. All right? The sirloin bites are absolutely delicious. They're a game changer. An absolute game changer.
And how about that sauce, eh?
The sauce
You
is
like the
terrific,
sauce,
too.
yeah.
The sauce is terrific, too. By the way, we built this Smitty, brought to you by Sport Ball. Put your kids in Sport Ball. Your kid will have a smile on their faces. They'll learn multiple sports. Visit www.sportball.ca for more info on all the sports programs they offer. Spring registration is now open. All right, let's get into it. Off to Mr. Mike's we go, hopefully, with a win on a Friday. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn, on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Now with 6 o'clock lager on tap, let's go to Dr. John. Dr. John, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Are you a real doctor?
I am, yes.
Cool. All right, well, let's get on. I was just curious.
Just like a general doctor or like a foot or
Are you at a walk-in clinic? Can I come by and say hi?
No, I have a PhD in engineering.
Oh. But you're a doctor.
Yes.
With a PhD. I'm so confused right now. This is amazing. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. There's a whole discussion coming after this. We'll get into it. You need 3 of 5 correct to win the gift certificate. Are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. How many goals did the Oilers allow last night?
6.
What position does Jordan Binnington play?
Goalie.
Which NHL team recently fired their general manager?
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Which sport has an event called the Scotties?
Curling.
Which league's All-Star game is this weekend?
NBA. Association City, baby.
Oh! Nailed it!
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower.
Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry?
My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Well, here we go.
Boy, that stung a lot of people. Hey,
Here we go.
Pat in the county, dude is not a doctor.
Dude is not a doctor. Dr. John rolls in. Are you a real doctor? Yep. What type of doctor are you? I have a PhD in engineering. We're like, okay,
Chris,
we got to talk about this.
Sadaway sniffed him out. Engineers are the worst for that reason alone. So, like, this is a, yeah.
I mean,
he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, hey?
So you can just claim that, hey?
Like, you don't claim it. You've earned it. You've gone to school to get this.
It's a PhD.
And
but you're an engineer.
A doctorate in engineering.
The doctorate for doctors, like him, that title was used beforehand. Like, it's a long-standing thing.
It's terminology here, eh?
But engineers, even if they have a PhD, shouldn't be referring to themselves as Dr. John.
They have a doctorate. They've earned it.
They have a doctorate, but he's
They've
not
gone. There's a lot of people.
Can you get a doctorate in social studies, like in history, things like that? And then they're like, "What do you? I'm a doctor. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a doctor of history."
Right?
Thank you. Like the original kind of doctor is a PhD.
A PhD, and you can get a PhD in a variety of.
Well, that's the thing, but this is ridiculous. We need to change the title of PhD people. That's what I learned on the show today.
They had it first.
No, times change. Times change. Doctors are doctors. PhD people can be something else.
PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy.
Exactly.
Doctor.
Philosophizer.
PhD. There's a PhD of a lot of things.
I hate it. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think if I had gone through the schooling and got a doctorate of physics.
Yeah.
Would I refer to myself as a doctor in general conversation with other people?
You do realize, like, the current first lady is considered is called Dr. Jill Biden. She is not a medical doctor.
So she too is a fraud. If you're going to be a doctor, be a doctor. I mean,
They are.
I even got more time for a dentist pretending to be a doctor.
They're not pretending. They are.
That's another chapter entirely here, I think. Because I was the one from the Hangout. I think the dentist from the...
Sam says, Dusty, you're thinking of a doctor of medicine.
Yeah.
You can be a doctor of a lot of things.
Which is an
MD.
It's not even a PhD.
Sorry, I hate the... So, how do I get a PhD in what we're doing around here? How do we do that? Because I want
You got to go to schooling, and you got to take many extra years, and there's a lot of steps to it.
Okay, but
it's
if
not
I did
just
that,
as simple.
could I be on here and be
Lethbridge College.
Yeah, he's Lieutenant Eric. I'm Dr. Nielsen.
If there's a degree that you can go get that would work for it, yes. Yes, if you went to go get a degree in engineering, you got your doctorate, which isn't something you could just do like with a snap of the finger. You can absolutely say, I'm Dr. Dustin Nielsen.
I want the weakest and easiest degree to get that could lead to a doctorate in something. I don't even care what it is. I just want to be like, hey.
Well, Jeremy has an interesting text. If somebody yells out, is there a doctor on the, say something's happening, right?
Exactly.
Is there a doctor in the house? What are you going to have an engineer run over? Hey, hello, I'm a doctor. Well, can you help this man? He's having a medical episode here.
I can take a look at him structurally.
Is there a medical doctor around?
Oh, you should have the
Is there a medical doctor around?
No. No, but that's the perfect way. If you want to refer to yourself as a doctor in public,
can you respond to that
if there's a
call?
life-saving situation that somebody says, we need a doctor, can you confidently step up and help that person? If the answer is no, stop referring to yourself as a doctor.
And I guarantee you Dr. John would not step up and say, I'm a doctor in that moment.
Well, then why do you pretend to be one all the other times?
Because because you're not pretending. You've gained the title of doctor. Again, it's been there long. It's a long-standing thing. It's not like they took this after we gave it to the MDs. And he would know in that situation what is being asked of him or of everyone.
Jimmy asks where we come out on Dr. Pepper.
I don't know the backstory on Dr. Pepper,
PhD
but I'm
pop?
assuming there's a PhD in there somewhere.
Well, this is
It's like this is the first time you've ever heard of the PhDs and the doctors that aren't MDs.
MDs.
I mean, I loosely knew about it, but I didn't know they were. I didn't know they were going around claiming to be doctors.
They're not. They are. It's not claiming. It's what they are. They've earned it. They've gone through the schooling and the proper protocols to earn that title. It's like how, like in a much smaller scale, not anyone is a meteorologist. You actually have to go to schooling to be called a meteorologist. Everyone else is just a weatherman or a woman.
Clausen should get his PhD in meteorology, so he can be Dr. Josh Clausen.
Well, he's a meteorologist. I don't know if there's a PhD in meteorology.
Why would there not be?
Because not everything has the ability to have a PhD.
Who determines what has the ability to be a PhD?
I don't know how the
These
academics
scholars from
all
the
gets worked.
1600s. That's what it is. And now we got people running around claiming to be doctors that aren't doctors.
Engineers are now offended in the nasty chat.
But look, you're still amazing. You're an engineer. Congratulations. But, I mean, congratulations on your doctorate. I'll just leave it at that. But you're not a doctor to me, damn it.
Your mom has entered the Paris Jewelers inbox this morning.
Good. Where is she at? Dusty's mom. She says you can go get an honorary degree of doctor from Lethbridge College.
You should go back to school.
Thanks,
They
Mom.
can give you one.
You should go back.
Yeah, they'd have to give it to you. And now
I also
those
don't-
people,
those honorary degrees are BS too.
and those people generally don't full out call themselves doctors in everyday walk of life. But you
Why
would be
not?
able,
They have a doctorate.
because they didn't go fully earn it in through the schooling. But they will say, "I have an honorary doctor."
This is
Doctor
really
Tony Kornheiser every so often pulls out the Doctor
Get
Tony
outta here.
Kornheiser because he got one, and he'll put on like
He got
throws,
an honorary
yeah,
doctorate.
and he plays
He
into it on the
pulls it out
show
every
or
once in a
something,
while,
and he
though.
goes, "Yeah."
So, how, if a doctorate's so difficult to get, why are they just giving out honorary ones?
But that's why there's the honorary doctorate.
But why? Why would you do that? Like,
Because
you're
then
lowering
they-
the standard of the doctorate if you're just
Well, they're
giving
not.
them out
That
to people who
person
are
then has
famous.
achieved a lot in their field, and they've come back, and they usually speak at convocation, and they get honored by their school or their big donor, whatever it is.
Neil has found one, Dusty, Media and Broadcast PhD, Queen's University, Belfast. Go out and get it.
Oh, how about this?
Oh,
my,
go first.
My buddy Ryan Tennell just texted me, who I graduated with a diploma.
Is he a doctor?
That I don't talk about all the time at Lethbridge College. He has just texted me a link to Communication and Media Studies PhD at the University of Calgary.
So there you go. Go become Dr. Dustin.
From a bull
Dr.
to a
Dustin
dino.
Nielsen.
You could,
I would do it for the joke itself.
Clausen says there definitely is a PhD in meteorology, atmospheric science. Thanks for the idea. Dr. Clausen has a nice ring to it.
It does, Dr. Josh.
I take it much more seriously.
Communication and Media Studies, Doctor of Philosophy, a thesis-based program. What? Completing this program, core courses. Students take courses in interdisciplinary approaches to communication and media studies and research methods.
I look
Problem.
forward to your
Got that.
dissertation.
I prep for a show every night. Yeah. Candidacy. Students will complete both written and oral candidacy exams. No problem.
Oral, easy.
Additional courses. Topics may include critical media studies, like how the entire industry is falling apart.
Easy.
Perfect. Communication infrastructure, environmental communication issues, media and politics, and more. Thesis. Students will be required to submit and defend an original research thesis. So my thesis would be on taking an entire broadcast thing online in 2024. And I would just send them a link to today's show and be like, here, give it to me. So I could become a doctor of media communications, which is a farce. It's a farce.
not.
Because then I could legitimately be like, I'm a doctor.
Yes,
Is there a doctor in the house?
Dr. John
Here I
has
am.
text back saying, and to clarify, I would never say I was a doctor in a medical emergency. Clear difference between MD and PhD. Both have right to be called doctors, and they do.
It's like a party trick.
The PhD has been around for a very long time. There's a history behind it.
I hate this discussion more now that I found out that I could go get one in media communication.
Well, then go do it if it's so easy.
Well, no, but I hate the fact that, if I had
It's
the
not
time,
that
I would
easy.
like to- What do you have to do? You have to pass. You have to pay attention in class. Pass some courses.
The thesis, the dissertation.
Exactly. There's a lot.
I'm sure a group project will be,
I
want you doing a whole thesis. I want him going through the whole process, though. I think that'd be highly entertaining.
I mean, I was actually a very good student.
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah.
And you'd be a great doctor. Dr. Dusty, as somebody points out, he's kind of got a Pornish name to it. Could be a PhD in something else, but Yeah, I want you to go back there. I want you to go back and do the whole thing.
Do night schooling.
Yeah.
While you're doing EST, go get.
Doesn't
Look at
sleep
this.
anyways, right?
Here's my outcomes of getting a PhD in communication and media studies. The outcomes: academic careers, cool. Private sector,
okay.
Communication, media, and film-related companies. So I could work for a media company if I get this PhD. That'd be crazy.
Wow.
Oh, how about this one? If I finish my PhD and get my doctorate in media studies, I could possibly work for companies that are dependent on digital media.
Well,
wow.
That'd
be pretty sweet. And then, of course, government positions, clearly. All right, let's get into... look at this. Lance is in. It says, my high school band teacher was a doctor. He had a doctorate in music. One time he subbed in my social class. I said, Mr. Brendan. He said, I didn't spend 8 years in school to be called Mr. I asked him if he has a doctorate in social studies. He said no. Then I said, well, here you are, Mr. And he sent me straight to the office.
What a play. What a play.
That's
I'd defend Big Uke there.
That's good.
You're not a doctor like in that
No,
class.
you're a doctor in the
right?
band room, but not in the socials room.
T-Mac, the rugby guy, texts in and says, so Dr. Dre can't deliver a baby? This guy texts in and says, I'm looking for a realtor right now. There's one in Edmonton called Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, the realtor. Unbelievable. That's confusing. Also, if you're looking for a realtor, Damon Bunting. I mean, what are we even doing
the guy,
here?
yeah.
DamonBunting.com.
Don't need a PhD. Probably has multiple PhDs that we don't even know about.
He doesn't need to say it.
What a fun discussion.
But he doesn't need to
He's
say
one
it.
of those that doesn't need to say, I'm Dr.
Yeah.
Damon
I love how
Bunting.
Kornheiser pulls it out. I never knew
Oh,
that.
every so often, yeah. He has the lab coat
It'd be
too.
nice to use to
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've
He'll
seen
throw the
lab
white
coat
lab,
thing.
and
Okay,
he will
maybe I
go
have.
with the sometimes like doctor and stuff. Or mention that he's got his doctorate, even though it's all honorary.
Hell of a
He
thing.
plays into that
but
so
at a
hard.
social event, like, I am a doctor. Oh, really? And then you kind of go off.
He's great.
Man, the successfully defending a thesis in an open oral defense sounds like a lot of fun. I've been doing it for the last 15 minutes.
You know what your thesis is going to be on? Why LeBron James is the GOAT.
Oh, I could go on forever. I'll defend that to the death. All right. So you can do your thesis on whatever you want, eh?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've never gone for the doctorate. I'm not a doctor myself.
We should all go get doctorates together.
Yeah.
EST paying?
You have to pay for this stuff too?
Schooling?
HR Daddy, pony up. Maybe we can get a scholarship, the all of us. We can make a team.
We'll split the doctorate together. We'll all do parts of it.
Dinos curling. Let's go.
Big Maple Sports is in. It says Damon Bunting has a PhD in friendliness.
And style.
Yeah, and style too.
Surveyor Brett, engineer, shows up, causes big confusion, leaves. Everyone has to figure out the problem while he is unreachable. Classic move. Classic engineering move right there.
It is. Is that how it works? Yeah.
Engineer John, yeah. He comes.
You know, you guys have to stop going after the engineers right now.
Why?
I'm not.
We're going to need them for shanks.
Not.
You know?
Oh, well.
I'm not.
They're
going
not. No
after them.
engineer is going to help us now when we go
I
in
think
there.
we
and
could probably
need
just find a bunch of other doctors to do it. I love Jimmy Onishi says, Dusty, you can just play sound clips to defend your thesis. All right, Mr. Nielsen, please defend this. Oh, really?
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Oh, look at LeBron.
You want me to defend my thesis? No. All right. Let's get to 3 questions too many. We haven't got into the good stuff yet. 3 questions too many. Brought to you by the great staff of Park Mazda. Do you have a liner today?
I sure
there's
do.
a great doctor joke coming here. This writes itself.
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who has a PhD in selling cars. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Dr. Lewicki, paging Dr. Lewicki.
Dr. Lewicki, we have an emergency. Front showroom.
Do you have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow me on there. I've just retweeted. We have the full 3-month calendar of Tom Gazzola and EST crew live on locations. If you want to check that out, borrowed it from the EdmontonSportsTalk.com website. You can go on there, top banner. We do have an EST on location right next to the shop EST, constructed by the one Matty Iwanek. Very nice, very clean. But if you want to know where we'll be at, specifically with the Oil Stream pre- and post games, going down at Hudson's, Bourbon Street, White Avenue. All the dates are up there, including date number 1. That'll be you for the Lock Shop and Oil Stream later this afternoon at the Free RV Show. That's 17303 100 Avenue.
I just want one doctor to come by today at the Free RV Show. Come in and shake my hand. I don't even want to know. I want to guess what you're a doctor of. That's a new game. Hi, I'm a doctor. What's your doctorate in? Let me guess. 3 questions. Can you save a life? Can you help somebody build a
Is
building?
there a doctor in the house? Yes, I'm an engineer.
Can you work for a digital media company? I'll be at the RV show today for Lock Shop and Oil Stream. Tommy Gazzola will join me for that. We're going to be hiding in a special place. You'll never be able to find us. No, we'll be front and center, right on the right when you walk in. 17303 100th Ave. Check them out, freervshow.ca. Arcan setting this bad boy up. Edmonton's only free RV show, free parking, free admission, free entertainment. Come on by. Whether you're in the market for a trailer or you just want to pretend you're in the market for a trailer.
Or just see.
That's always just as fun.
See yourself and Tommy. As you said, he'll be wearing an apron, grilling burgers, and the old setup you guys have there. Hey.
Or just join us for Lock Shop today as myself and Jake break down the one game in the NHL tonight for 60 minutes. And NBA All-Star. I tried to dive into some NBA dunk contest research last night. Mac McClung, the heavy favorite again, after winning it last year.
Hurricanes in the desert tonight in your lone game.
Yeah.
That's
we'll get into that one.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble at home. I knew this would get me in trouble when I did it last
doctor?
night. No, I opened up an envelope. I opened up an envelope yesterday, and then I just threw the envelope where the recycling bag's supposed to be, but there's no recycling bag. So it's just this random envelope sitting where the recycling bag's supposed to be. I could have got a new recycling bag out and opened it up.
This is the
just
classic.
Like, it'll go here.
Skipping
And,
the step, leaving the spouse take care of
I
it
just
next
got
step.
I just got an email or a text from my wife, and she's not happy. But I always get out of trouble. I just reply with that Jason Segel shoulder shrug gif, and she hearted it. So I'm back, baby. You just go,
What are you going to do? Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do? All right, here we go. Question number 1. Boys, what do you make of Knobloch mixing up the lineup a few games in a row here? All right, some tweaks again yesterday. This is very Woody-esque.
Well, Jack said blender on the broadcast.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know if a lot of you caught that there. What do I make of it? I don't know. I mean, there's times we've said that this lineup do have a few options, and if he's willing to kind of see an experiment during the course of a game, I'm all for it. I don't think any of it's really set in stone right now. But yeah, I mean, was the question concern? Is there concern?
What do you make
here?
of it?
What do I make of it? I don't make much of it. I think this is a guy seeing kind of what he's got in certain circumstances and situations, but
I don't know. I just don't know if I like every single time this team is ever trailing in any game. They're just like, switch it up.
You've mentioned before you want to see them work through things, I think. Not necessarily
You'd like
Knobloch's
to
team,
see
but in the past
like
too,
to see
with Woody, yeah. Just
them kind of grind
grind
through it as is.
Yeah.
As opposed to hoping a couple of guys can just sort of get hot and carry you the rest of the way. So, I mean, he's right. Eric's right. What do you make of it? Probably shouldn't make much of it.
There's no message sending or anything like that, like any sort of cryptic.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll be interested to see what lines he goes with heading into Dallas.
Yeah, that'll be a question.
The penalty kill was okay. They had to work so much yesterday. They still got beat a couple times. But the penalty kill has not been great lately, and you're keeping guys in the lineup who can't produce over Sam Gagner, who has produced more just because they penalty kill. And when the penalty kill hasn't been good, then what the hell are they still doing in the lineup? Matthias Janmark does nothing. Connor Brown gets close to scoring goals, but doesn't actually score them. Outside of that, does nothing at 5-on-5. So that's where the upgrades have to come prior to the deadline, in my opinion. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Kyle the Balmerson says, I'm more annoyed with Knobs not challenging the no goal.
Well,
the early one with Perry. I didn't think it would have been overturned anyway, so I'm not angry. I don't really give two what's.
And it's from upstairs. I mean,
but Corey Perry entered the blue paint on his own, and then was bumped, and certainly didn't try to get out of the way. So, I mean, if Corey Perry had been outside the blue paint when he was pushed into the goaltender, then I think the challenge would have come. But the fact that he kind of skated into the blue paint on his own before the contact, I think that's probably why they didn't challenge it. I thought it was probably the right call at that point. I like this one. Paul is in and says, Matty, Shanks won't be an issue for you guys. Dusty spends the next 5 years getting his PhD. We can't get Shanks until I have the PhD. And then we can go from there. Question number 2.
Yeah, a lot of money will be tied up in that venture. That's kind
Yeah, a lot.
We need to buy you new school clothes.
I mean, the amount of money I'm going to spend on getting a PhD, we could just get Shanks. Just skip right over the whole thing.
What do you want more? What's more valuable?
Question number 2, with the dunk contest this weekend, give me your all-time 5-man dunk contest. All right. Who do you guys want in this thing?
You need Vince Carter.
You got to have Vince Carter.
Vince has to be in there.
I think you got to have dunk contest time Michael Jordan.
Dominique
Wilkins.
Manute Bol.
That would be hilarious, but no. So you gotta have Neek. You gotta have MJ. If we're looking like all time. With that being said, I don't think Michael Jordan wins this dunk contest.
I will say this is one critique I have of LeBron.
Never went in the dunk contest. I agree with that.
Because he also even said one year, I'm in it next year, and then didn't go show up.
Yeah, that was the one thing. The only thing in the entire career of LeBron James that ever disappointed me is that I never got to watch him in a dunk contest. That he never did it. So those 3 guys in there.
Well,
The Gordon Levine dunk contests were insane. But are they all timers in there?
Would you throw Kobe in there?
I don't feel like I'd throw Kobe in there.
Shaq broke a backboard once.
Like Griffin had the cup. No, Dwight Howard. In those first couple of years.
I know he had some great ones, but just too damn big. Blake Griffin?
Well, I said
Did you say Blake
Yeah,
Griffin?
he had a couple of decent ones.
Spud Webb?
Nasty Chat wants Spud Webb. They keep yelling
like
Spud
honorary
Webb, yeah.
short guy, Spud Webb. You know who flew under the radar? And he's not going to make this list.
Greg Oden.
But no, the year that Vince won it, Tracy McGrady was in it and threw down some huge dunks as well. But then it was Carter that ended up stealing the show in that one. Duck Dad says, Dusty, pre-knee injury.
Well, I think you make, was it a top 5? Of course. Sean Kemp, propane pimp.
Oh, Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp would be a good one.
Do we have Dwight Howard? RJ sending in Dwight Howard?
Yeah, Matty brought up Dwight Howard.
I would when he did like the Superman and he put the sticker on the bird, like that was right before the slam. Like I think he got the slam dunk contest to its final peak.
Yeah,
and then it fell off. Like Blake Griffin came up, and then it kind of fell off for a number of years, and then they needed to redo it because there was just nothing else you could do. Like once Blake Griffin went over the car, it was like, well, what else are we doing here?
2 cars.
Yeah, like so.
Jason Richardson, he's on a few lists. He won 2 of them.
I'm finding a list. Dwight Howard's 5th, Spud Webb's 4, Jordan's 3, Vince is 2, Zach LaVine is 1.
Zach LaVine.
Big Maple Sports Cards wants hot sauce from And One.
If you're doing Spud Webb, I would say it's between LaVine, Dwight Howard, or Blake Griffin.
Aaron Gordon went head-to-head with LaVine, too. But yeah, LaVine would be a good one.
But he in that McGrady, the second of the guy that gets forgotten about, but could have easily won it any other year, right? Or
I think I'd rather just go Vince versus Dominique Wilkins.
I was about to say it's good. It comes down to those 2, doesn't it?
1v1. Just let those 2 guys go. If you got to have Spud Webb in there, you got Spud Webb in there. But I all got some time for MJ, Vince, Dominique Wilkins, and then just Gordon and LaVine rekindling what they had going there. Because that was one of, if not the best dunk contest of all time. Guys, I dropped a girlfriend off at the airport this morning for her trip to Mexico. She tells me she expects the house to be in the same condition when she gets back. I says, pardon? So do I throw a rager now?
Yes.
First of all, nobody throws house ragers anymore anyway, really.
But you should.
Depends. How old is he?
Missed a good house party.
I don't know. His name's Grumpy Cat.
Oh, he's supposed to do the hangout. He was the winner from
That's out of nowhere.
December.
Yeah.
December Nasty Club, and he was out of
Really?
out of the country for January, and we just were exchanging emails starting yesterday, so he'll be on the hangout at some point.
Grumpy Cat. You got Grumpy
He was the
Cat.
one that was moving people or moving his aunt out. She was down the hall.
Oh,
in
get
here.
out. Yeah. Okay,
And I
yeah.
gave, he was the first one to get the nasty package because I was getting set up, and he was around.
All right, question number 3. Oh, I'm glad this one came in.
Oh, wait, yes, you have the rager.
Oh, yeah?
I stand by it.
You still clean up after.
Yeah.
Worst is you apologize after.
Or house parties.
I don't think you get away with the apology after.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, good point. That's always a good way to look at it. All right, question number 3, and thank you for sending this in because it is something we wanted to get to. 780-218-9999 is the Paris Jewelers inbox. You could get in the mix for text of the day, 4A and W. Guys, do we have any update on the jerky thief? Funny you should ask.
I came out of the hangout halfway through yesterday, and you two were just like
an interesting
loaded with like this news for me.
Well, let's recap.
An interesting
Let's
note.
go back to
an interesting note came our way yesterday. Eric, first of all, what happened was we had 3 sheets, as we call it, of beef jerky show meat.
For the
Big
I Got
sheets.
Beef segment.
Like those are good
Big
size
size
sheets.
Yeah. For the segment.
You
though,
could
dude.
shingle a small roof with these sheets.
You could slap a man across
Imagine
the
a
face.
jerky shingled roof. That would be amazing.
Delicious.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Corey the Butcher at Acme, you should think about that. Cool. You're going to take that idea. Run with it. So the jerky's gone. It disappeared. So we're like, well, who's the jerky thief? So we broke down all these things, all these timelines, trying to figure out who the heck it was. And then yesterday, after both Gager and Tommy Gazzola did chime in the nasty chat.
Entered the chat.
You're doing the hangout with Gager and Murray, and a good hangout yesterday.
Karkmar.
And we're sitting here. Tom Gazzola walks through that door like Kramer on Seinfeld. And the first thing he said right away, he didn't even say hi,
Unsolicited.
guys. He walks in and goes, it was Gager. I were like, what? Like, who's just coming in and accusing somebody else of being the jerky thief? So then we go, what are you talking about? He goes, for that post game, or that pre and post, like they all stuck around, they were watching the game, and they brought the jerky out. And Tommy's like, I had a little bite. Zacticum and YouTube Trev had a little bite. But then Gager just sat there and ate the entire thing. And I was like, what? So then he was so adamant that it was Gager that when Maddie comes out, we're trying to fill him in, and we start to get the vibe of what?
If you're that adamant, if you're that intense about it, what are you covering up?
Full-blown cover-up.
Tom.
Full-blown cover-up.
But now what?
Well, and then, but also in all of this, you tweeted yesterday about the photo that we had of signing day, which was still to come. What
Details
we're doing.
coming next week.
Yes. The jerky thief's in here somewhere.
I quote tweeted it just as a bit of a gag. I didn't.
Well,
I don't
and then,
anybody.
but it's not. YouTube Trev jumped into that.
Oh,
saying I know who it was. Eye emoji, and he didn't say anything else.
Trev with the inside info.
He just comes out.
He was in the
I
room.
know who it was. ... Eye emoji.
Speak up.
By the way, YouTube Trev is still around. He's just on vacation this week. He's back Saturday, right? He's back Saturday for pre-game, post-game.
Yes, Saturday.
We're going to have to sit him down when he comes back and say, let's get to the bottom of this. Because Gager did admit some guilt in it. He said, oh, yeah, I had a little bit of it. Tommy Gazzola is saying that, like, Gager ate there, went full-blown Ben Stiller at the end of dodgeball with that chicken. Gager's just sitting there crushing it like this.
Can I throw one more thing in there?
Another angle?
Zacticum's been sick the last couple of days with a migraine. He's had to go home. Is he sick or is that guilt?
The walls are closing
Is that
in.
guilt? All of a sudden yesterday the walls start closing in.
Guilt migraines.
Yeah. Boys, I think we need a polygraph.
I still don't trust any of them.
Yeah, no.
I don't trust any of them.
They're all doing the Spider-Man.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
They're all pointing at each other.
Oh, man.
To try to not be the one to take the fall.
How are we supposed to continue to advance Edmonton sports talk when we can't even trust these jerky thieves that we work with?
You want to know something? We have a full sit down with each of them, one-on-ones.
One-on-one.
The three of us,
Yeah.
one-on-one, in the boardroom.
Yeah.
We bring them in. We get their stories. If there's any inconsistencies, they all lose beef jerky privileges.
We also say, like, that's not what your friends have been telling us.
Oh, we go.
You know, one of those.
Can we go buy a...
Turn the lights out.
Can I go to Staples and get a spotlight so I can be like, did
Well,
you take the jerky?
We'll grill them all. We'll do full interrogation. Somebody has to be good cop. Somebody has to be bad cop.
Yeah, we'll leave the room, come back in. And
Yeah, we'll do that whole thing.
I want to get an overhead picture of the seating area out there and say, tell me where you were sitting. And they have to point on the picture.
Any inconsistencies, then we know there's... And then we rule somebody's... They get suspended from beef jerky privileges.
Spency 5 cents. He says Zacticum got dehydrated from eating all the jerky.
That's where the migraine.
That's where the migraine came from. I said to him yesterday. I said, "Is it something that you're eating?" Because when I was 19, I got
He just starts sweating.
Yeah. Jeez. Look who is showing up. Oh my God.
Oh, Fergie's prostate. Fergie's prostate brings in more jerky. Unbelievable.
Your jerky story
touched my heart. The jerky hero. The jerky hero, everybody.
Wow.
Fergie's prostate out of nowhere. Jerky hero.
This is amazing.
Oh, my
What
God.
timing, eh?
That's
Yeah,
great. You
give
want
one,
one of these?
toss
We each get one.
Yeah,
I think.
Jerky hero.
I think we each get one.
Sea salt and pepper. This is going to be delicious.
Oh, locally made.
Look at this.
I've got the original.
We're back, baby.
Go to the St. Albert Rugby Club.
St. Albert Rugby Club if you want to slab
What did you get, Eric?
Honey
good.
garlic.
That's
you guys
good.
want to try the original too? Mix
I
it
got
around.
sea salt and pepper,
What a treat.
which is great.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
The ultimate twist. The ultimate twist. Fish tank is in. It says prostate jerky.
Anybody find it weird that Fergie's here, giving us jerky back, and the jerky was gone? And
are you blaming him?
Are you making him a suspect now?
You put him on the
Holy
list.
smokes!
This is highly coincidental.
Or did one of the thieves contact Fergie's prostate to get us some?
It's a system.
The jerky miracle, boys.
Systemic.
And it just happens he does it now when we're talking about it.
This is good too. This is good. After all this jerky talk, to
What a
actually
save.
have jerky delivered.
Big save
From
Fergie's
us.
prostate.
You know who else? You know what else people stole from us? $2 million. Somebody stole $2 million from us. So if somebody wants to randomly drop off $2 million, that'd be great.
Somebody stole the keys to Shanks from us. and the deed to it.
The deed.
Strummy says, beef jerky distribution engineer. Dr. Fergie's prostate.
PhD. PhD. Full PhD.
PhD
MD.
and doctor and jerky delivery.
The whole bit.
My God. Jimmy Onishi says, where's Tommy's sheet? Tommy doesn't get anything. Tommy's one of the suspects. The whole jerky thief thing.
Guys after.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
a
go ahead,
snap.
bud.
We got all different flavors. This is great.
Oh, this is awesome.
Local. Rodeo Foods.
Get him at
From
the
Edmonton.
St. Albert Rugby Club, the official jerky of.
Oh, that's terrific.
What a pleasant surprise.
Guys, morning, boys. Why did Tommy say he knew who took it but wasn't allowed to tell him the pregame last night? I don't know why Tommy was keeping it a secret. But we got a...
It's all very suspect.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, mission accomplished. We've got show meat again. So that's terrific. Yeah. That's 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda.
You got the song?
Yeah, we got to make that. We got cards here. We got jerky. We got to get some beer in here. Let's let me get to the beer. Okay, we got 1 minute and 16 seconds to make the old switcheroo. Here we go.
Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week on The Nielsen Show, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
$30 seconds. All right, it's time for Beer of the Week, brought to you by Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Available as its own podcast as well. If you go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you click on the page or just find the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week podcast on all of your podcasting platforms. You got any take on the jerky thief, eh?
I was really thinking it was Matt. I thought I know.
Oh!
No, what a twist! I thought it was a ruse.
No, what a twist!
I thought it was just a big, ruse.
Well, yesterday, I do understand because I did say I was the last one to have seen it put in the fridge, and I kept saying, well, there was more, and I get where that would come from.
Yeah.
And then we found out later that they had it during postgame, and I was cleared.
Okay, so then it's
I
Gager.
was cleared. But you know who's been silent here today is Gager.
Yeah.
I was expecting Gager to pop up here somewhere and be like, wait a second, the boys said more than they're saying. Because Tommy basically said Gager ate all of it.
The lack of defense is certainly something to...
Yeah. He's like, he's going to own it up. He's just, I ate the sheet. I was hungry. I ate the sheet. That's what's going to, sitting there with his slippers on, his Papa Bear slippers.
That's just it.
Eating a sheet
a
of
little too homey.
a sheet of jerky.
Just be honest with us.
Yeah.
I appreciate honesty,
Mhm.
right? It's good to know who you can trust and who you can't.
Yeah. And for the record, I'd like to be known as Dr. Laurie.
Oh, my God.
PhD in
You
beer.
beer expert.
PhD in beer. You can probably get a PhD in
Probably.
beer. I mean, probably.
Do you need some beef jerky? Have you had
We got some right here.
Like a snap?
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
We
okay,
got,
thank
we
you.
got some right here. It's pretty delicious.
I do love beef jerky. It is.
Who
delicious,
doesn't, right? Who has ever been like, oh man, I don't like beef jerky?
Liar.
Yeah.
beer and beef jerky does go really well together.
Well,
for
it's
sure.
going to today.
For sure.
That's for sure. All right, what do we got here, man? Yeah, by the way, where do you come out on the doctor thing? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations, you've earned it.
Absolutely.
But it seems weird to be posing as something that most people assume is a medical doctor if you're not a doctor.
It's a tough. I think the real problem is that it's an engineer. I think that's the root of why this is.
That's
we
what
all need engineers. We've talked about engineers. You know, a lot of our brewers are engineers. They're smart guys, but there's just that little tinge of, you're not a doctor.
Well, part of it's like, you're an engineer and I'm not, so you're way smarter than me.
Yeah.
When I just didn't want to go to school for that long.
Right.
You know, like
I think
They're not just an engineer.
no, they're a
They've
doctor.
gone the full way.
They're a doctor of engineering.
Not all engineers are PhD.
So what's the difference between an engineer that finishes a degree and
I
then
don't
somebody who gets
believe.
a
Like a
doctor?
lager pilsner.
What more do they actually learn about engineering? Probably absolutely nothing.
Maybe. I think my brother-in-law's a doctor. He's got a PhD and he's a doctor. Like he's a real doctor and he has a PhD.
So he's an
a
MD and a PhD.
Yeah, he's a
MD,
doc- he's-
PhD.
He's a doctor.
PhD of MD.
That email signature must be a
It's
nightmare.
like this long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It's ridiculous.
All right, let's get into it. Here
Anyway, let's go. We're going to Red Deer.
Oh.
We're going Troubled Monk
Nice.
today. So we're gonna try. We got 4 different beers and a hard iced tea. So Troubled Monk does kind of everything. So they do great beer. We do teas. They do sodas. They're doing spirits. They're dabbling all over the place. They're touching all areas. So the actual beer of the week is the Juicy Gossip New England IPA. So we might have had this one once before in a Beer Fest pack. I was trying to remember. The label is super familiar.
Looks kind of, yeah.
You know, it's a really good beer, but we haven't tried 3 of them. So it's a bunch of new ones from them. 2 of them are from their original lineup. But yeah, we got a Daycation Lager. Again, that kind of sessionable, drinkable beer. You can have a few of these ones. It's a real kind of new trend. There's a lot of these brewers that are going with a little lower alcohol ones you can have a bunch of. Then we got a Pesky Pig Pale Ale, which I love that name. Open Road American Brown Ale, which is, if you're scared of brown ales, close your eyes and drink this one. That's
Okay.
part of the
Gimme.
shtick. And then the Juicy Gossip New England IPA, and then we're going to taste the Troubled Tea, which I know, I know you guys are a fan of tea.
We are a fan of the tea. Yeah.
So I think we should start with the Daycation.
I just have to say, these small cans, the regular size cans look so cute now. Right, like everybody's rolling out the tall boys. I love seeing these regular size cans. They look so little.
You feel like Andre the Giant in that.
Yeah,
Pepsi
you think
can.
you could just you just crack one of these now and just pound the entire thing.
Couple sips and it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny how when the big ones first came out, it's big pour. When the first ones these first came out, it's like that's a big beer, but now it's just the standard.
It is the standard.
It's the standard, right? So everyone's going with that pint-sized can. So this one is 4.7%. This is your after shoveling, after mowing the lawn, just after you've kind of you want something refreshing, clean, crisp, light. That's what this one is. The Daycation, just a really good, easy drinking lager.
Andrea's in and says Daycation is delicious.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's cheers to all you doctors out there.
Yeah, cheers.
Not the PhD ones, the real doctors.
Delicious. You almost
is
lost
delicious.
it.
Oh, that is really good. You know that'd go worth some of this beef jerky.
It would.
That's really
A
good.
little bit of salt in that honey garlic.
A little bit of salt, a little bit of hard work.
That's really good.
Yeah, a little hard work. Again, it's a the Juicy Gossip is a strong beer, strong IPA, hop forward. You're gonna taste the difference, and that's why we did the Daycation first. But it's nice to have just a clean, crisp, easy drinking beer that you can have a bunch of.
Yeah.
And not kind of blow up your palate. So then let's go with the Pesky Pig. So this is, again, a session ale. So we're kind of ramping up the hoppiness of this one. It's still only 5%, but very different flavor profile. It's going to be hop forward, super tasty. We've talked about pale ales before. I like a pale ale. It's a little bit more, a little lighter, a little less palate busting than a proper IPA. It's not going to be as tropical. But you're going to get lots of great fruit with this one. It's one of their original beers, the Pesky Pig. It's really, really delicious.
All right, Rick, what do you want to cheers to here?
Cheers to the Scotties. Tournament of Hearts. Draw
Scotties.
one tonight.
There you go. There you go. Scotties. Tournament of Hearts.
Yum.
Oh, wow.
Yum.
We have a question coming in for you, Doctor, PhD.
Yes.
Can you ask PhD Redbeard his thoughts on the Dandy and Blind Man merger / partnership? Is this the start of a trend to reduce overall costs? It's a little technical here.
Yeah, it could be. it's hard running a brewery.
Yeah.
So, and these guys are always so collaborative in when they're starting things up that, I think it could be a trend of brewers kind of sharing some resources and, sharing markets and instead of having a guy drive around or source, stuff in to make the beers, it's a really good partnership. And those are really, Blind Man, we've talked about a ton of times. Dandy's a great brewery in Calgary. So I think it will be a little bit of a trend, and it's not really a merger. It's more of a partnership. Between the two of them. So it could be. In the States, we're seeing a bunch of those smaller breweries kind of, the 5 or 6 of them actually get together and do some of this. So it wouldn't be surprising.
It's like pro wrestling in a way, eh?
The
Tag
NWO.
teams and stuff. And I like that.
Yeah, so it's possible. Okay, so let's go with the Open Road next. So this is a brown ale, 5.5%. And this, again, the kind of the notes for this one says, don't like dark beer? Close your eyes. This world-class brown ale has a wonderful roasty flavors that are sure to surprise. So it does look beautiful. I'll just put that in your hand there.
Well, it's right down my avenue. I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to this one.
You cheated, and you had to see the glass. But I told you it was brown ale. So
this text flies in. Troubled Monk White Christmas Golden Stout was one of the best beers I've ever had, unsigned here.
Yeah, they do. They make a bunch of one-offs that are delicious. They do a really good job. Again, they're dabbling in a whole bunch of different things. They've been around a while too. I think it's 2015, for these guys. So they've been around certainly a little while to experiment. So again, brown ale, one of the original beers, like the Pesky Pig, 5.5%. Really, really delicious.
I think somebody's parents are watching in Mexico.
Are they watching again?
And they said it's a birthday week.
It is, yes, it was.
When's your birthday?
It was the 13th.
It was the 13th.
It was the 13th.
Happy birthday, Scott.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, how old are you?
48.
48. Well, I thought you looked a little bit older than that. That's great.
They guessed 52 on my store call.
Did they?
Yeah, that's all right.
That's good.
What are you going to do?
Cheers.
Delicious.
Oh, boy.
Maltiness. Roasty. Malt.
It's not actually too overwhelming, like for me as like a non-dark beer guy.
No.
It's like a nice sweater.
I love the contrast between that lager and that brown ale, right? Like the lager, clean, crisp. The brown ale is clean, crisp, but they're very different flavors, right? Like that you get that malt. I love that maltiness, that again, warming coating of the mouth. It's a nice mix up from a lager all the time.
A couple of those curling up to the opening round of the Scotties, baby. That is heaven on earth.
Yeah, really. Again, we'll get you there.
Somebody also is asking if you have any room for friends in your friends group because they think they just could be a good friend with you.
Yeah, sure. Always.
I like this.
I knew it.
Yeah, this
I
is really
told you.
nice. Yeah.
I'm a friendly guy.
All you need to do nowadays to be friends is be on a group chat together.
Yeah.
All right? That's it. You never actually see a lot of these guys.
No.
It's just all group
Do you want
chats.
to be my friend?
Funny group chats.
I got room.
There we go. Perfect. All right, congratulations.
Well, you're in.
Yeah, there you go. That didn't take a lot of convincing.
No.
Take a lot of convincing at all.
Okay, so this is the beer of the week. This is the Juicy Gossip. This one is, you're getting all hop. You're going to taste a ton of tropical, just, this is in your face. This is not subtle. They're going full on IPA, New England style.
Like a Morgan Riley cross check right to the head.
Exactly. Yeah. No shoulder bump.
No face washes.
Straight to the ear. Yeah. Delicious beer. It is $14.99 for a 4-pack of Tall Boys for these guys. So great deal. It's a delicious beer, and people may not have tried it. It was in a beer pack we had one time, but yeah, delicious New England IPA.
A cheers to the jerky thief, whoever it may be. Okay.
If it wasn't for the jerky thief, we wouldn't have Fergie's prostate stopping by.
Exactly.
Good point.
So, positive benefit. Right? Unintended consequence. It was a good thing. You got more jerky out of it.
Yeah. In the end, we win. Turns out we all just ate the jerky together and came up with the bit to make Jerky Thief. So Fergie's prostate would bring in things of jerky.
What are you going to blame somebody next? What else do you need?
Exactly. That's right.
What we'd like now, yeah. Okay, so that was the Juicy Gossip again. Really, classic style. Really starting to salivate now.
Yeah.
After you finish that one, it kind of like.
Yeah, that's a nice sit down and take your time with that one. Like
I had one of those last night. The more you pour that one through, the more you drink that one through, the better the flavors come out. It's just a really delicious beer. So awesome. Okay, so let's do now the Twisted Tea. Not Twisted Tea, Troubled Tea. Original hard tea. Again, I mean, this is
I love this stuff. These
drinks are
this is where it's at.
Ridiculous.
These teas are man.
I'm just gonna give you that.
The game has been perfected as well. Hey, like it's
this. You know what this smells like? This smells like Good Host iced tea.
It does, like the powdered?
Yes.
It does
Man,
smell
that's
like
This smells exactly like Good Host iced tea, which is my favorite of all iced teas.
when you dump the powder in the
Yes.
pot and the waft of
Oh,
powder
yeah.
Yes,
comes up.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
My mom once caught me with it sorted out into lines.
Your face pops
Yeah.
up and it's just all over the.
Oh, sorry, Mom. Should I not be snorting the Good Host iced tea?
Have you tried it though?
Yeah. Seriously, I was selling it in little packages at school. It was amazing. That's what this smells like. That is unbelievable.
It 100% does. It
Holy
100%
smokes.
does.
Wow.
So this one again, nice and easy, gluten free. Also for anyone out there that's looking for that, 5% alcohol. Again, they're dabbling. This is really good. This smells awesome. Bring it back to you. Kid days.
This just smells.
Don't let your kids have this one. This is 5% alcohol.
This is. Oh, this smells delicious. I would not be surprised if they don't use Good Host iced
The
tea.
secret ingredient.
Just mix it in.
Just a pinch.
Like, you're not getting by me.
Secret sauce.
All right, hey, let's do it. Cheers to Bill Post.
Bill Post.
The creator
R.I.P.
and inventor of the Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rest in peace, my
William.
man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Love those s'mores.
Holy.
Oh my
That's
God.
That's really good.
Come on.
It actually tastes like that a little bit where you've got that fine line of do I add more powder? Do I not add more powder?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
Yeah.
You're like,
that point of
it's
no
good.
return.
Yeah.
If I add a little bit more,
You're gone.
throw the whole thing.
You
Yeah.
throw the whole mixture
I
off.
used to make that stuff. I used to load that in there. Well,
Just pour the water in.
Better have too much
We
than
didn't even
too
use the
less.
little scoop. It was just like,
into the tin. Straight
Yeah.
into the tin.
straight in. Now,
So-
can I have a little bit more of that? Do you mind?
no,
It's,
yeah.
that is delicious.
Yeah,
This
over
stuff
there.
is good.
It's really good. So Troubled Monk. I mean, if you're in Red Deer, head to their tap room. Very, very cool tap room. They do a lot of good beers. The Juicy Gossip's delicious. $14.99. Save $3. Try them all. They got great beers. Gone.
That is
There
good.
you go. There you go.
No. Oh, there's another one.
There's another one.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, that stuff is delicious.
No,
wow. That's really good.
Yeah, really, 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 really good. Really good product. So I'm not sure which one my favorite. I think I like the Daycation for every day, and then the mix.
Daycation is really good too.
Yeah, and then mix in one of these.
That pesky
open
pig's got a
roads.
pretty cool taste to it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it really, really good one.
We do have a gift certificate right now, $50. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. If you want that, just text in Beer Me. Text Beer Me to 780-218-9999. Beer Me. 780-218-9999. Eric will pick one of you, and you will end up winning the gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, get it done at William Huff. They've been doing it since 1972. WilliamHuff.com. You're looking around like there's somebody up there.
No, it's just beautiful.
He's just-
Oh, yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Of the wrap.
Thanks, Scott. We also like it.
Yeah.
It's great. What did we learn on the show today, Eric? What'd you learn?
Well, we learned the difference between a PhD, an MD,
Did we?
On and on and on. Well, that kind of captivated the show. I think you learned a few other things of lesser note, but that was the big thing that kind of hour 3 brought it home.
It really took things off the rails.
And you learned,
there.
I mean, your mom chimed in. You can go to Calgary. You're going to be a
I learned
dino.
that I can go to the University of Calgary and get a PhD in media studies. And once I have it, I could possibly work for a company that does digital media.
A dissertation on LeBron and Jordan.
Just imagine it's the CFL on TSN, Glenn Suter, and Dr. Dustin Nielson on the call.
Twitter handle now, Dr. Nielsen. Yeah.
That would be amazing. Man.
When a player goes down hurts, you go, I'm a doctor here.
I'm a doctor.
I've got it.
Running onto the field.
Looks like that Achilles is torn.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a shoulder injury. Well, I'm not a good doctor. Man, with that, I got a lot of time for putting in a commitment to get to a joke, and that would be great after 5 years being like, hey,
money invested.
Guess what? What do you think about this? I wonder
Memphis?
if the University of Calgary would accept any of my Lethbridge Community College credits.
Full scholarship, I think we get you on. Some sort of athletic.
That'd be good.
You get on
Do they-
to a
I
team.
still have years of eligibility.
Volleyball? Huh?
Do they want a contra deal? We'll advertise University of Calgary and EST in exchange for your program admission.
No. I don't want the program admission. I want the PhD.
Just honorary.
No, 'cause you
honorary.
can't do honorary because it's
Why
not the
not?
same.
No.
What are you talking about?
They don't call themselves doctors. That one's less socially
I
acceptable.
could, as part of the joke. I could.
You got to do the work.
You got to go do exactly.
Do the work.
Thank you.
Put the work in.
So we'll get you in. We'll help.
Scholarship,
We'll help
full
you get through
scholarship.
it.
Yeah.
We'll cheat with you. Don't worry.
Thanks. Appreciate that,
You
guys.
can AI the thesis.
You probably can.
Don't worry. He's got it figured out. It's LeBron is the GOAT. He
Yeah.
doesn't need AI.
Yeah. Just hope you don't get an MJ
Yeah, there's some guy sitting there.
Well,
There's some guy sitting there who's 24 and 96, and it's like, okay, let's go. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here full blown like JFK in the thing with the Byron Russell, the push off from Byron Russell from MJ. That's the whole thing. It was clearly an offensive foul. Other people have admitted it is. It's ridiculous. Let's get to your sound of the day.
Prep.
There you go.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Trophy flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats like Wyshynski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe slip over to Kuban to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We want to hear some hot takes and we want to hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I want to kiss away? Be just a tie of fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Games? Macramel, Rapaport, Dreger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. But then my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him give him person. Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielsen Trophy flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing we can do about it for sure. I love this one. C. Hendo was in earlier. It says, this is awesome. A C grade student trying to drag down PhD education. I was not a C. I was a straight A student. Come on. I know people don't get it, but
straight A's of what? Like
of everything.
In university, of college, of what?
No, in college. I mean, broadcasting.
Exactly.
No, but I'm
That's
talking
the
like in
point.
high school, like tough courses.
Tough courses.
Tough courses.
Yeah,
Tough courses.
Like people that think you might think I'm an idiot.
What did you
Just
do?
because I got into broadcasting, but I was actually a really smart kid.
What did you do?
They
High
had
school.
they had
What
a
were the
program
electives?
in grade 3 called the Stretch program.
Grade 3?
Grade 3. We're
Yeah,
going to
grade 3.
We're going back
No,
here.
where they take highly intelligent grade 3s
Yeah.
and put them in a group to advance them even further.
You had that parachute that you...
I was in it.
He was
I was in
really
it.
strong on the
yes,
parachute.
very
He could
good.
hold
That's
that
great.
parachute higher than
I tell
anybody
ya.
else.
I used in
People were talking.
in grade 1. There were math questions, and I wasn't even allowed to answer them because I knew all the answers.
Okay, so what were your grades in 12? Grade 12. Like English.
Probably
Probably.
in the 90s. Like,
Probably.
Social.
all of them, man.
Okay. I want to see a report
Even
card.
the
now.
tough ones.
I want a report card.
This is very...
I did well. Like,
well is not...
Dusty's mom in the chat's going,
kinda going down,
dot, probably not.
no, my mom and dad are driving up from Calgary now. They're coming here this weekend. They would probably say that I was very smart.
HR Daddy Nasty Nana, text us. How was Dusty in high school?
I was smart.
You did well.
I was
You did-
smart.
you did well.
I've lost
Was
it.
smart.
I've lost it all. I've lost it all. That's for sure. All right, let's get to text of the day today here quickly. I just want to go back to Phil in a balcony in Banff.
Great.
Just get back to
We
the
started
story.
there almost.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up because that was right. That
a real
text
good
came in like before the show even started, and it was excellent. Here we are. This is it. Hey guys, I'm living the clip. Me to my new kidney.
You're gonna live with me now. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. Because I love you. I love you, John. Oh, I love you, Son.
That is Phil, grateful on a balcony in Banff. We got an A&W gift certificate for you.
Living it.
You get up here, we'll get you this A&W gift certificate. We'll send it to you. So you and your new kidney can get one of these spicy piri-piri burgers at A&W, and you'll love it. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Treat the kidney.
Dusty, grade 3 was 35 years ago for you. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I understand. But that doesn't, you don't get dumber, right?
You absolutely can.
No.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Also, like,
once you have natural intelligence, you're smart forever. What are you laughing
There's
at?
your thesis.
What are you?
There's your thesis.
This isn't helping your cause.
You want my thesis?
This isn't helping.
We're sitting here at Edmonton Sports Talk. We don't even need a radio signal, and it's going very well.
You didn't invent the internet stream.
To be honest with you, in this city, we might have. Everybody else is hanging on to the past. It's ridiculous. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Who's on the hangout today, man?
It's me and Jay Milne and Tom Gazzola. We'll go back to last night, how it was at Hudson's. We'll talk whatever. We'll figure out what they think of PhDs. We'll just have fun for 2 hours.
It should be a
Friday.
good time.
Chewing a bit of jerky. Maybe Fergie's prostate will.
Well, Tom's not allowed.
One of the.
You're still one of the suspects.
You're still a suspect.
You're still a suspect.
Nobody comes in.
You are
nobody
still a
comes
full
in
suspect.
and turns the spotlight off like that. The jerky thief. The jerky thief.
Don't worry, we're
trying,
giving.
I'm
Scott's
trying.
allowed to have beef jerky. You're not. Fergie's might stick around.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Fergie's
Fergie's prostate. We'll have a good time with Fergie's prostate.
All right, let's get to. Hey, join me today. I'm gonna be heading down. Tommy's gonna be there as well for Oil Stream. Lock Shop and Oil Stream today at the free RV show down on 17303 100th Ave. We're going to be set up in there. They've got RVs everywhere. I don't know if my parents are going to be in town.
That's the old Rona or whatever.
It's across
across the street from the future Popeyes.
It's a Halloween
That's the
store,
spot. Yeah.
It's right there in the corner. There's what are those restaurants that are in that parking lot there?
Jerusalem Shawarma.
Joey's
that's
or
one.
Earl's or
And
what is it?
There's Tony Roma's as well.
Is there Tony Roma's is still going?
It's tucked
It's
in
one of
there.
the couple
Oh, yeah,
places
with the
that's
ribs.
still open. Yeah.
With the ribs.
Yeah.
Best
Unbelievable.
taste in ribs in North America.
Anyway, I will be there today from 11 to 1, so make sure you swing by. Edmonton's only free RV show with Arcan Trailer and RV. Free parking, free admission, free entertainment. Come on by. Come on down. Tommy's going to be there barbecuing and nothing but an apron. People are going to love it. For Matthew Awanek, Dr. Lieutenant Eric, Scott Laurie, I am Dustin Nielsen, trying to claim I used to be smart one time. Enough already with this. Have a great day. Take it easy.